Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Super Old Game Saturday. If it's 7 p.m. on Saturday night, usually, except next week and in some other cases, this is where you want to be for classic gaming goodness at the end of the long week. We're continuing from last week where we had the return of Argonaut Software with the Croc Legend of the Gobos remake, or HD version's coming out next year. Got another Argonaut game for you as we're also kicking off our Halloween block. Every October, for every week of the show, we're going to be playing a game that is themed in horror in some way or another. And we're starting it this year with another game from Super Nintendo from 1995, and one that, like Earthbound, we played last year, started last year on this weekend. I'm more experienced with. I played that at the time, owned it actually at the end of the year, and also is in the case it's going to be our most family-friendly game, as opposed to next week, which is going to be our most mature rated. But tonight we're playing Scooby-Doo Mystery. This came out for the Super Nintendo in November of 1995. It's developed by Argonaut Software, who made Croc Legend of the Gobos, which we're currently playing, as well as Star Fox for Super Nintendo, the Game Boy versions of Days of Thunder and Race Drivin', King Arthur's World, Rancid Fire Dogs, I Ninja, and their first game was Star Glider, going back to the Atari ST days. Now, it's worth pointing out, Scooby-Doo Mystery also has a Sega Genesis version that came out 2 months before, in September of 1995. Dates I could not find, as far as when these came out. That's not the same game as this. That one's developed by the Illusions Gaming Company, which is a company that was formed of ex-Virgin Games members, and a point-and-click game, specifically, as far as if you ever played The Secret of Monkey Island, it's that Scum Engine game. And the people who made that, by the way, they made other games like, well, licensed stuff. They didn't last very long. With Super Caesar's Palace, Blazing Dragons was on Saturn and PlayStation, Beavis and Butthead Do You for the PC, and Duckman, The Graphic Adventures of a Private Dick. Talk about Super Bowl Game Saturday out of context, but that is based off of the TV show from Classic Chupo. Yeah, that is seen sometimes as the better game of this. The Console Wars show said, yeah, it's by far the best one. Compared to this, it won in a landslide. I'll link to that show that they did for it. My experiences with this one, which is a 2D platformer from Argonaut Software, kind of an early one, and as I said, I grew up playing this one, and after we played Croc this year, I've been playing it. It's usually coming back and seeing maybe some interesting things going on. As far as the intro, it is stuck on the intro screen, digitized, of the TV show of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? But for some reason, they don't have the Scooby-Doo music for this one. The Genesis version does. But they even have a license for it. In fact, I will show one weird thing off in the passwords, because we have passwords here. They're also way better than Genesis, because in that game, it's 50 characters. This one, it's 7, or if you have special ones, it's less. If you type in CRDTS, there are no vowels here, hit start button. It just loads the intro again. It shows Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? But Ben Reilly and David Mook as far as a credit for the music, but it's not in this game for some reason. I don't know if it was cut out or what, and I couldn't find much as far as that. Actually, weird enough, the stuff I could find out about this game came mostly from the Scooby Wiki, specifically. I'll link to that, because yeah, actually all the information I'm going to talk about tonight with the game as far as aspects of its making and how this ties to the franchise are coming from that. Yeah, this is an interesting one as far as our first look at Scooby-Doo. It is admittingly not the Scooby-Doo game I was asked for first. That was Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, which is on PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox. Dolly Finn wanted to see that. I said, okay, I don't have it. I'm not going to be ready to do it for this year to scope it. But I got another Scooby-Doo game, this one, so we're going to play that. But that will be the next time we come back to Scooby-Doo, which we're going to play it on the PlayStation 2 specifically. But yeah, this is kind of an interesting one. A little bit of a mixed one, but the stuff of Argonaut, thinking about that, it definitely got me going. I said, you know, this is going to be our first kickoff as far as the holiday for this year. Okay, not much as far as options. I mentioned there's passwords, because there's 4 mysteries in this game as opposed to the 2 on Sega Genesis, but those are longer, and they're different as the game itself. And if you ever want to see that version, we can do it, but it's also way more expensive. A loose copy is like $50, which is the way we go, because complete's like $200-something. This one, yeah, it's like under $10, if that. This game does not cost much if you want to get a copy of this. But yeah, you only have stuff for passwords for the 4 mysteries we got. Also, aspects of control. So here's the Super Nintendo controller, which you have here, which B button is to jump, throwing items on or using items on the A button. Searching with the X button will show how that works. Running on Y button, hold and run for that. You can talk to people with the R button, L button for map. Select for selecting stuff in the select window for your items. And if you want to change, you can move left or right. Basically, it swaps off A and B. So if you want A's jump instead of B's jump, you have that. And the search and run buttons are also swapped, but that's all you got. So I'm running B button as far as jump on this one. And we'll get started on this one, although briefly I will go into aspects of who made this. Fine, as far as the specific people. Because this game was produced and co-designed by Darren Drabwell, who did design and producing on Lego Island 2, The Brickster's Revenge, which I know is a case where I know a lot of people love those Lego Island games. He's also did testing on Days of Thunder and Race Driving for the Game Boy. And his lead programmer is Matthew Porter, who also was a programmer on Croc, which we've been playing, and also lead programmer on Creature Shock, which is another Argonaut joint. SWAT Global Strike Team for the PlayStation 2. The game based on 24, the Fox series that was also on PlayStation 2. As programming manager on Heavily Sword for the PlayStation 3, Little Big Planet for the PSP, and was the technical director of Killzone Mercenary for the PlayStation Vita. So yeah, early stuff they got as far as what we're going with a game like this. As we're going to be joining Shaggy Rogers, Scooby-Doo, Daphne Blake, Velma Dinkley, and Fred Jones, of course, on our adventure for our 4 mysteries. And I think with that, I'm going to more stuff as far as the music. Not that there's really much of it in this game. There's actually, I can count on my hand how many pieces of music there are. There's the intro here, which is from the TV show. So it doesn't have the main theme, but they have the do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It is a redone version of that, which was part of the intro of the show. So technically it does have the theme song if you really want to be pedantic about it. But it doesn't have the one that people are expecting, the one that's licensed in the credits or the opening of this game, which is bizarre to me. I only noticed that when I was doing my audio checks. There's stories to go about that. As far as the music, it is people who worked on Croc, specifically Martin Gwynn Jones, who did music and sound for Croc Legend of the Gobos and Creature Shock, also FX Fighter for the PC, and Ren and Stimpy Fire Dogs for Super Nintendo, which is one of 4 games based on that enterprise. The second rarest, and that's shocking because that was a rental-only game. It's only about 4 levels as well, based on the Fire Dogs episode of that television show. But yeah, the most expensive one is Ren and Stimpy Buckaroos, which is like $400 on this system, and it's not very good. So we play that eventually. We play on NES. Specifically, also, that's where I have memories on. And by the way, it's worth pointing out, it does not go in the intro until I hit New Game, which I thought it didn't do, but fine. I'm playing this game for almost 29 years, so fine, I guess my memory's a little sketchy. But also, as far as the music, there's also one other name, that being Martin P. Simpson. Did music for Formula Carts for the PlayStation, Manic Carts for the PC, and King Arthur's World, which was on Super Nintendo, another Argonaut case. And it's definitely an interesting one, as I mentioned. Looking back on this as we've gone through Croc, we will have more on Croc probably in February. I'm going to make that indication now based on what Nocturne was saying from last week's show for the purpose of that. But for tonight, we're kicking off our spooky Halloween season with something feasibly family-friendly until I have to invoke the Scooby-Doo equivalent of Godwin's Law when we talk about Velma, but we'll get to that later, feasibly, because I'm assuming people are going to have some thoughts about that one. That being said, we can start a new game now and get ready to go. Okay, so for our first mystery, we have Shaggy going up, "Shipwreck like that doesn't sound like the sort of place I'd like to spend a vacation." And you have to do that high indication, like, right, Raggy. So yeah, Scooby and Shaggy, they're like, "We don't want to do this." But Freddy, of course, is the leader of the group, saying, "Don't be scared, guys. It's just an empty wreck. There aren't any monsters with ghostly pirates. And hey, he's driving the Mystery Machine here for Mystery Inc. There's just barnacles and maybe some treasure." So yeah, he's thinking, like, maybe we can get rich about this, perhaps. So here's where we got to go. And this is going to be for our first mystery. There's not a whole lot, and this is not going to be a long show. I'm going to say that specifically. Also, I had to play this stuff with audio because this game's kind of quiet, and the brightness is kind of off weird as well, so I had to brighten this baby up, but you're hopefully seeing everything nice as far as how it is. So this is the haunted shipwreck. Of course, Shaggy saying, "Zoinks! No way of spending a day on a spooky wreck." But of course, like, yeah, ironically, we're going to be the one controlling Shaggy and Scooby as a unit. But yeah, don't worry, it's an empty wreck. All of the stuff that's in the media is just hogwash. There aren't any ghostly pirates around here. Feasibly not. But come on, gang, it's a great day to go exploring. Because yeah, Velma loves the thrill of the hunt as far as the mystery. And of course, groovy. So this is a 1960s period piece, of course. Come on, Shaggy, I'll give you a Scooby snack. You solve the mystery of the Red Rhine, which is our first mystery here. And you do get aspects of the music that do go to themes of the TV show, as far as this stuff going on, the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, which we're hearing in most of this game, by the way, until we get later. But all right, here we go with Shaggy and Scooby. You walk around, leading left and right. You have jumping, it's on the B button, as I have it, and other stuff. We're gonna walk ahead, because we're gonna have mandatory damage from One-Eyed Matt. I was thinking One-Eyed Pete, that's something else. I won't give you a second chance. So he's holding his fish there, which I actually did not know until today that he actually holds it in his hands there. And he has the laugh, and he fills up your Frido-meter. That is the bar up there. I like how the games you want that to be empty. Because if it gets all the way up to the red, you get too scared to continue and you quote-unquote die. But technically they don't die. There's no aspect of the fact that, you know, Scooby and Shaggy are dying unless you fall. We'll feasibly see that later, because the places we can fall, go around, you hold the Y button, you can run. It does have the stuff with the animation, including like the skid to a stop. So I did pay attention to some of the details on this one, although admittedly the animations are a little limited in the sense that, fine, I'm standing here and they're not doing anything, not even blinking. But either way, just keep walking and talk to Freddy. Yeah, so Velma is the aspect of the group where we give her clues, she'll tell us what's going on, and solve the mystery. He's gonna walk around, feasibly be the leader, and when you walk next to people, hit the R button to talk to them. Get that weird sound effect as far as that, but yeah, remember the ship of the map we brought. That's on the L button. Thank you for reminding us, Freddy. You get this nice picture of Shaggy holding the map here, and it shows on the map where all of the people of interest are, and also your flashing Scooby head, which shows where you are. And if you just move around, it'll fill up as you go along. It's not something you're gonna necessarily need it that much, but it is feasibly nice to have. It's a case like, hey, you know, the open areas for the doors there with the divot inside. But anyway, okay, just want to make sure, there's a little bit of a delay, it seems like, when it comes out, but yeah, keep walking. But sometimes you can't go indoors, and sometimes you try and run into the doors. Yeah, you get a little bit of voice acting as far as, you know, you get yourself bumped. You don't get your Fredometer increased for the purpose of that. And we'll talk about the aspect of voice acting, because there's sort of voice acting in this game. But the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to deck 1. And if you see a door that's up or down, hit up or down on the D-pad to enter it. And there's a mouse. I do want to briefly show one thing. You see me get taking damage like that, there's no recovery time, so if you're in the way of an enemy like that, it'll go up quickly, so do not get in the way of that. And there's also enemies later where they're gonna be a one-hit kill. I will not feasibly show that unless I get into a case of it. But good news is that, hey, if you're too scared and that fright mirror's too big, yeah, of course, remember, would you do it for a Scooby snack? Because Daphne has a couple in her pouch. She has 3 in a mission, so the instruction manual indicates. And usually get them the first time you see her in a mystery. And you have your item box. In fact, I'm almost gonna pick up an item here. This is the chest. Hit up on the D-pad, pick an item up there. You hit the select button. You scroll between your items. You have a pretty limited inventory, though. You have only 8 items specific as far as it. If you have an item you can use, you hit the A button to use it, but you can't use that. But for the Scooby snack, you hit the A button, and it gets rid of some of your fright aspect. The amount that it takes off decreases as the mysteries go on, so we're pointing out. Also, you talk to her again, yeah, you can't have another snack yet. So basically what that means is that you have to give Velma clues. You pick up items in the area, you give them to Velma, she's like, hey, Jinkies, that's gonna be a clue, as usually is the case with her. And when you do that, you then can usually come to Daphne again and say, okay, yeah, I can have a Scooby snack, but you do feasibly want to limit that in case you get yourself into a jam, as it is. So there's a little bit of a case of, oh shit. Also, we're pointing out, when you do go out of the door, and you're doing that animation, there is a weird element of this game. This is not a great game, admittedly, I'm gonna say that, because when you go through the door that way, as you're leaving, that bar will still fill up if there's an enemy in your sight, and there's some cases where you can't avoid damage. Mandatory damage in this game is mainly a pain in the ass, but either way, you still use the map, but we don't need to use it because we just need to go into the door here and go along. There's also the parrot. Yeah, stay away from the parrot that does have, fine, I'm walking away, and I guess Scooby is not going through the door with me, feasibly. He has like the peg leg on his leg there, but what you can do is, yeah, bring suspicious objects to me and I'll tell you if they're clues. So you pick up the trolley. You're gonna need this to kill things, and the way to kill things is you press the A button towards it and throw it. You do need to make sure that when you throw it, that the trolley is still going, because if it slows down at the end like that, if there's an enemy there, it will not die. So you gotta be careful of that. And in each room, you come back, the enemies will come back, and you get points for that, but the points don't matter, because they don't do anything. But if you have an item in your item box, when you talk to Velma, she'll tell you what it is, and she'll tell you if it's a clue. Okay, it could be useful, so it's a trolley, but that's not a clue. She'll tell you if it is, and you get points for that. And she'll give you mystery updates, except on one mystery where they don't do that. I don't know why. There's a bit some inconsistency. Yeah, we haven't found anything. So, yeah, get to work, please. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so you're kind of an errand boy, I guess, for this, but fine, I'll show her the chest. Okay, here's a chest for treasure, but what's it doing here on the Red Ryan? I think these are ill-gotten gains, you think? So clue time, boom, and you get points for that, and your mystery update gets improved. So it's like, yeah, the treasure inside this chest got corroded by the sea, so it clearly is underneath the sea, and they dug it up. So like, wait a second, what's going on here? So she's gonna pretty much do all the heavy lifting as far as like, what's going on with this mystery, and why is it happening? And in this case, we also do not have an intro saying like, hey, you know, there's the creepy guy saying, hey, don't go to the shipwreck, it's haunted. We know it's haunted coming in as far as this, but there is one mystery that's gonna be like that. But here's the one I'm mad at, saying, yeah, I warned you to leave the ship, now you're in for it. Oh, really? The bowling with the trolley. So yeah, Fred will at least tell you, like, yeah, I'm helping guys, just hit the A button, knock him away. Oh shit, it missed! Actually, I rarely had it miss. I think you do have to hit him specifically, but I can also show it happening backwards. Or not. Shit, I've never seen that happen. Oh, Scoob! Hi, Dolly Finn, so good to see you tonight, as I'm somehow not hitting One-Eyed Matt with the damn trolley. I don't know why this is happening. So good to see you tonight. Feel free to go to Memories on Scooby-Doo. I know you want to see, Jesus Christ, why the hell is it not working? It does work. Oh, yeah, recording curse right here. So fine, you have to throw the trolley at him, and somehow it's missing. I don't know how it's missing. Hope you're doing well. And fine, if you run into him, you get, in a case of being scared. Fine, screw this, I'm going to the other room. You came in just in time with this not working for some reason. But anyway, I know you want Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. We'll do that on the PlayStation 2. We'll do that next year, I promise. Finally. Okay, why did it not work when I hit it before? But fine, by doing that, he goes into he busts the door open and we can go explore the area. Yeah, so good to see you. We're gonna do that as far as our next Scooby-Doo game upon your request. And since I didn't have time to scope that and also get a sense of how it's gonna go, I said, fine, I have this Scooby-Doo game, so at least we got some Scooby action going on for Halloween block. So good to see you tonight for that. That's okay, this is great. Although, feasibly, that game is better. I think you're right, from what I understood. But I have grown up with this game. Thank you, no problem. Hey, we love the viewer requests, we always do them. And we do have a viewer request as far as specifically what it is, and they're teaching you how to search. Hold the X button down and Scooby will sniff as far as with his nose. If there's an item here they'll tell you to do it. But other cases, you're just gonna have to walk around, hold that X button, and just comb the area. But yeah, we'll do that for sure, and we do have viewer requests specifically in 2 weeks. And I'll also see if I can't do that for Halloween block for next year for that. Yeah, because I just don't know how long Night of 100 Frights is, and we do need a quick key for this door. But in the meantime, feel free to let your memories flow on Scooby-Doo. This Scooby-Doo game, which is Scooby-Doo Mystery for the Super Nintendo, or anything else specifically on this Enterprise, or anything Hanna-Barbera, because we've got a lot of stuff going on. Daphne just gave me a Scooby snack, and man, I need it. I also need that chest. Also, because we're at the edge of the ship, if I fall off there, I'm gonna die. But also, they prevent you from using the trolley here, saying we'll lose the trolley if you use it here. So this is a key item. So yeah, in areas where it would bounce off and be lost, they just say, like, fine, you can't use this. So yeah, sorry, but either way. And they'll walk along the ship. It's worth pointing out, as you open the doors, hit the L button, look at the map again. They'll be in different rooms. They'll go along as you go, as you have the picture of Shaggy. I'll go also stuff with voice acting a little, because there's sort of voice acting, but there's way more of it in Night of 100 Frights, which we'll get to eventually, probably next year. Right, we need the key for this. So we have the item. So you get items, basically. You go over to find Velma. Or no, yeah, Velma, right. There's also this room, where there's, fine, that rat, so I'm gonna jump over him so I don't get my meter out that way, and fine, there's a free Scooby snack line on the ground. Don't know what it's doing here, but either way, we got it. Okay, so yeah, what's going on? Go show that map to Velma. For now, they're gonna sort of handhold you a little, in the sense this, and fine, because as far as this game, it's not too much of a mystery so much as get items and bring them to Velma. It's like, hey, what is it? But sometimes a mystery, like where they are. Okay, so this map shows a cave where all the smugglers hide their gold. This is a great clue, and on the back of this, that's probably what they're doing. Okay, and since I did get that crate, I can now go outside. Because we do need to go outside on the ship. You can fall, by the way. In this case, I'm going to tell you, put the crate here so we can jump up here. Because, yeah, it's kind of a platforming game, a little bit. And Night of 100 Frights is also a platforming game, as is the Genesis version. This is totally different. It is a point-and-click adventure game like the LucasArts Scum Engine games. I don't know if you ever played those. Feel free to go into it if you have, or anything else about Scooby or Hanna-Barbera, all that stuff. And fine, our family-friendly show before we have, I guess... Fine. Until dawn next week, I do have an announcement on what version we're playing. I'll reveal at the end show. Also, you do have fall damage, we're pointing out. Or if you fall too much, you'll go, and then Scooby will be laughing. Okay, so yeah, I gotta be careful doing that. Unfortunately, the fall damage way is admittedly kind of a case where you can be in cases like, hey, you know, if I don't jump right, you feasibly could get a case of not being able to take too much damage, but fine. That's about the height of which you can walk off and not get yourself hurt. But fine, I do want to jump on that because at least that brings that down so you can get back easier. Because you want to go over here, and what you want to do is you want to go and find an item that's here, and you're to jump on the crates and seeing the Mode 7 fog in the background. Get the teddy bear. Now, yeah, making that jump back, that's a little hard here. Well, fine, I can just screw it and just run off. Fine, I do have Scooby snacks, so I can have some of those, or at least one of them. That way, and we'll go. One thing is disappointed about this is the theme song was from the show wasn't part of the game. Yeah, I said that before you jumped on. I said, weird thing about this game. You're right. That was the console wars show. They said the same things like, wait, why is the theme song the Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We've got some work to do now. It's not in this version, even though in the opening of this game, we first booted up, it does show the fact that they licensed the music, like who did the music, but it's not in this game for some reason. So maybe it was taken out or something. Actually, that's one thing I forgot to mention, which is who published this game, because this release is a weird one because this was published by, I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, but thank you for bringing it up so it jogs my memory that way. This game was published by Acclaim, but it was actually going to be published by Sunsoft, who went out of business in 1995, but they've since come back. There's actually a collection called the Sunsoft is Back collection. It's out on the Switch now. But what happened was that all the games they had, they said, fine, we have a partnership deal with Acclaim to get them released. Because there was Porky Pig's Haunted Holiday, which is also on Super Nintendo. That released about in 1995, same area as this. But yeah, so this is a Sunsoft game, but it was Argonaut who developed it, and for this one, we do want to bring the teddy bear over to her. But yeah, that is a weird case that they don't have that piece of music, but they have other themes from the show in this. But yeah, there's a key inside of the teddy bear, so we'll be set. So they said, hey, there's that area we couldn't get to. But in this case, yeah, we have the key, so we can go over there now. And we'll to deck 2. Okay. So yeah, because that's the thing about this game, because, fine, I played both versions of this when it came out. I own this one. I don't own the Genesis version, which costs a bit more. And it's way harder, and also the password in that game, it's 50 characters long. It's way too long, and you have upper and lower case letters. It's gonna be a pain in the case when we get to that, but fine, I'm gonna bowl over that parrot. And I played the Genesis version first, because that's the first one that came out. It came out right when the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn came out. It's like right at the end of the 16-bit era, both of these released. I was also finding this eye patch. So let's go see Velma. Oh, shit. Yeah, she can walk through the bird and be fine. Fine, what about you? Eye patch, just like a pirate wears, but wait a second. There's a hole to see through, so wait a second. What's that about? And of course, groovy, because it is from the 60s. If this is a real pirate ghost, why would he need an eye patch to see through? Good point. Fine, yeah, like, kill these things just to get that. But yeah, coming back in that room with that enemy, always a weird case. And fine, the other one is also really, really hard because it's a Scum Engine LucasArts game, except LucasArts didn't make it. And is insanely cryptic. And there's only 2 mysteries, but a million that are longer. Now, Dawn of Frights is a platformer like this, admittingly. All right, have a Scooby snack. Yeah, thank God. I definitely want to have all the ones I can have, and also get the bucket, because we need to use that, and we can't go through that door because key will not fit it. But get something to cover that rat in over here, because she hates rats as far as Daphne's concerned. Which goes to the idea that she's kind of the rich, pretty girl as far as how it is. Yeah, here's the deal also about this mouse. Do not touch it because it is an instant kill or an instant death. Your bar goes up instantly, you have no way to recover yourself or survive. So what you do is just take that, throw it, he'll run into it, and there you go. And here's another key, go through, and we're set. Basically just going around the area and just checking everything specifically. Yeah, I like Velma as far as this. Yeah, as far as the character, as far as this game, as far as other stuff, feel free to go on that, and I guess other aspects as far as interpretations of her when it's come to aspects of the series, which has been around since the 1960s. And there's the lantern. We use that to light up dark areas. And also search here for an optional clue. That's diving gear. Let's go grab that, then go in here. The character. Yeah, definitely interesting that way. And we're also running into our first minigame of 2 minigames. We'll show them off as we go because they pop up every so often. This is, what do they call this? They call it Scooby's, the Scooby Sandwich Special. What you do is you're playing a Scooby. Of course, as always is the case, usually Shaggy is like, hey, you know what? Come on, man, let's raid the fridge. And so, like, Scooby's like, you want that as well. But in this case, you're moving left and right with Scooby to get the sandwich going. But the thing is that he's looking nervous that way. Uh-oh. Oh, crap. Okay, I'm glad I got to show that. Because you have to bounce along and grab the food as it comes down within the time limit. And based on how much food you get bigger points. And you do have to balance it out, because if you have too much on one side, he'll drop it like we showed. So I'm not going to get a good score on this or good bonus off of this, but at least I get to show how it falling is working. You also hold the Y button to make him run faster, but if you do that, he will feasibly drop food easier. And you also see his facial expression saying, ugh, I'm nervous what's on the right, so you, oh shit, I didn't even run with that one. So nothing else is showing how this goes and how it can feasibly go wrong. So yeah, zoinks! Yeah, so there you go. There is Shaggy that way. Fine, I'm gonna get a terrible sandwich that way, so. At least I get to show how the terrible sandwich is, because you have to have it stacked up high. I'm doing way worse on this in practice, but either way, it's fine. And, oh, fine, okay, so I got there. You do get points for it, but if you have enough, you get something. But in this case, it says, that sandwich is too small, Scoob. So yeah, you're right, and you don't get anything. You can get Scooby bonus, and you can also get, which gives you extra points, I believe. You can also get an extra life off of this. There's also a password that lets you play this all as much as you want. We'll go on that a little later. We go through that area the first time you get it, and then it is gone, but we also have to get a bar of soap. Okay, so yeah, we can also go more into that as far as for that. And also with the stuff with the voice acting, because you're hearing that drop and everything, that it was Scooby-Doo speaking or doing that perspective. And if you do win that, you do hear Shaggy going, groovy. And we'll hear that a little later. But here's diving equipment. Some of us have been diving around here, so yeah, people have been around. They have to be diving in order to through the wrecks in order to get the treasure that's here specifically. Yeah, Jinkies, yeah, and she does, I think she says, the other catchphrase as far as Velma here, and also the fact of, hey, you know, my glasses, I can't see without my glasses, but fine, she doesn't drop her glasses in this one. No, she doesn't, specifically. So she'll be having them on the whole time, yes. No, I get that for sure as well. It's like, the idea like, hey, you know, everybody kind of playing the role, although in this case, with this game, you're basically just kind of going as Shaggy and Scooby controlling it. And I was like, clean the floor up, the mess up on the floor. It's like, I don't want to walk there, to which I say, I do have soap, we can use that. Yeah, she does lose them a lot. That's true, but not in this game. This is the one case where Argonaut said, fine, you're gonna have them attached to your eyes, please, to your head. To throw the soap at one-eyed Matt, hopefully this will go better. If you throw it right, yeah, it gets slid off and off he goes. And opens the door further. Yeah, one thing also to mention, actually, when I get to the next minigame, I'll mention this. Which is actually now. This is Whack-A-Monster that we're gonna have playing. You're Shaggy playing and hitting Whack-A-Mole. Whack-A-Mole for Scooby bonus, and enough you get points. Or life, I should say. So how it works is you press down, left, or right in order to bash the ghosts. Or if you hit Y, B, and A, you can bash in that direction too. You have to hit all of them around, and he goes, groovy! And I'll talk the voice acting case, but you also have to be careful, because yeah, Scooby's there. Hit him, you lose time. So don't do that. And sometimes they put them in a pattern here, like, hey, you know, don't hit them that have the helmets on. And sometimes they don't have a helmet. If you hit Scooby, he'll get a helmet. And round 5, you get the hammer. It speeds up your smashing speed, and you do need that in order to hit everything here. And so you're hitting ghosts and Dracula and all that stuff, and you also have to be kind of quick, and it does look like I missed that one. So there is that, specifically. So you also have items. You do want to go for feasibly bonus time or for the hammer. Actually, I want to go the hammer here because, yeah, they'll move too fast to not hit them all. But there's the timer, and there is, yeah, that gives you extra time, and also, shit, crap. Yeah, I get a time penalty, so yeah, I hit Daphne on the head, sorry. But if you hit 25, or get 25 whacks on enemies, you get extra time as well. As you get the only original piece of music that's in this game. The other stuff comes from the TV show for some degree as far as it. Oh, they do kind of remix it. Okay, there you go. Got the speed up. And the frozen clock, by the way, means that it's a time stop. We'll see that in a little bit. And this one, they specify, it's like, hey, you do that and you hit it again. So basically, as long as you memorize the pattern, you can feasibly do this, but it's not easy. Fine, that case, yeah, don't hit anything, so I have to just be careful. Okay, so yeah, and I'll get into stuff of that specifically as that's going through. Okay, missed him. We should do have the ghoul guy there, so there's that too. Whoa. Yeah, you just saw that. I just barely hit him. And you sometimes are in cases where you're just going to barely hit him. All right, time's up. So you get a snack bonus. That is points, specifically as far as how it is. And then we'll be set. Before I go on, I do want to talk about the stuff with voice acting, because we did hear voice acting as far as it there. So Scooby and Shaggy stand there whilst I go into this. Shaggy is voiced there saying groovy by the late Casey Kasem, who, of course, remember Casey Kasem's America's Top 40. I will have in the link list one of those top 40 shows. Yeah, talk about one of the great DJs as far as history of the radio media. He, of course, did that. He was Scooby-Doo, or Shaggy, going back to Scooby-Doo back since the 60s, as well as a lot of Hanna-Barbera stuff like Groovy on the Chattanooga Cats, Robin on the Adventures of Batman cartoon from the 1960s as well. But other stuff is on top of that, including he was the voice of Meriadoc Brandy Buck in the 1980 film of Return of the King, the Lord of the Rings Enterprise. That was the animated one by Jules Bass and Arthur Rankin Jr. He also was Cliffjumper in Transformers the movie. He cameoed also as himself in movies like Ghostbusters, Mr. Wrong, and on TV shows like Saved by the Bell. And he had like a joke take of himself, Flaky Flakem in Tiny Toon Adventures, and he was with a wedding DJ in Rugrats in Paris. He passed away, unfortunately, in 2014 at the age of 82. His last role as Shaggy was actually with archival footage in a Scooby-Doo Valentine Banquet from 2021, and weirdly enough, this is the only game that Casey Kasem voiced Shaggy in, including Night of Under Frights. It's got innocent voices in that one specific. Many people voiced Velma over time. That is true. I guess now is the time we probably have to talk about Velma, the HBO Max series, the infamous one that Mindy Kaling is on specifically. Because, yeah, even fans of her stuff said, yeah, talk about going off the deep end, turning it into a mature-rated series. Nicole Jaffe first, and then Mindy Kaling as far as the new one. Fine, let's... Yeah, I'm sorry, I hit L for that. We're seeing more of the map, at least. Yeah, in that case, let me hit R. Okay, good. So she does get more Scooby snacks as they go along. There's matches, we can grab those. Yeah, I mean, yeah, many in between as well. Yeah, because there's that idea, like, how she's kind of like the nerdy one, because the idea also is the joke, fine, the thought is she's supposed to be a lesbian, which Mindy Kaling's show went into specifically. And a case where, fine, even people like her other stuff, so like, yeah, that was not something they liked, but it's also something that, fine, I guess it's a thought of, I guess, evolving of Scooby-Doo over the years, because it's been around for so damn long. Amazingly so, but fine. Can you tell me what's going on with this? Gunpowder. Maybe Freddy will know something about that. Yeah, so Freddy's gonna help us a little bit as far as how it is. Yeah, those matches, yeah, please don't play with matches, my friend. Fine, that's the idea. But yeah, you're right, the idea that this franchise has been going on for so long, you have different interpretations of the characters, things they've done, as well as there is, all right, the fact that I have a limited inventory. But actually, fine, I don't need to use this, but I want to grab this, because you only hold up to 8 items on your person. So I want to give her this, because this is a clue, I do know that. Got it. Let's grab a paper boat. It's detailing the wrecks in the area that have been robbed recently. So apparently they have sites in this place. The last wreck that's listed on this hasn't been robbed yet, so that's probably the next one that's in the line. Okay, so yeah, fine. We'll go to this because we're going to have some downtime here because we have to follow him back to that door that we couldn't open. Yeah, the gunpowder match will open the locked door that was over there, so follow me to the door and stay close. We don't have to stay close to him. He can go off on his own. He'll be fine. And your friends cannot die in this. They'll be fine on their own, and I can follow them back. I can just race back to get to there as far as it. In fact, I will do that. But fine, I'm giving Freddy a little bit of a head start. Yeah, because it runs slow enough, just keep going, he'll be there, and I'll just sit there and also talk about, oh shit. Okay, good news is you don't die from hitting that unless your bar gets up too high. But yeah, just keep running, and yeah, with that thing underneath the bucket, you'll be safe. Okay, so this is the door we can't get through, but so in that case we're set, and I'll go into the other voice as far as this, because it is Scooby-Doo, who voiced in this game, and also in the Genesis version, and Casey Kasem was in the Genesis version as well. Voiced by Don Messick. I said Don Messick before, that was wrong, it's Don Messick, whose voice credits were legion going back to the 1940s, late 1940s, as the original voice of Droopy Dog. Remember him, you know, the seemingly depressed dog, but he always was saying like, you know what, I'm happy. So the idea of like how he was. That's going back to Wags to Riches from 1949. He also was the voice of Boo Boo on the Yogi Bear show. He was the voice of Ranger Smith in Yogi's First Christmas, film I've mentioned a couple times. He also was the voice of it, so he's gonna blow this thing up and we'll be able to go through it. It'll be safe, so don't worry. He's got the B button to like that go. He's the voice of Dr. Benton Quest on Johnny Quest. He's voiced Adam Ant, going back to the days. He's the voice of Zorak on Space Ghost, the old Space Ghost series, not the Coast to Coast show. As well as he was the voice of Muttley in Dastardly and Muttley's show as far as their fantastic adventure about stopping the pigeon, Stop the Pigeon. So I get to talk about that again, as it is. He also was the voice of Sebastian on Josie the Pussycats. He was the circus announcer in Diamonds Are Forever, the James Bond film from 1971, interesting enough. He's also the voice of Godzuki on the Godzilla show, if you're ever familiar with the Godzilla cartoon from the 70s. It was weird as far as that. But he was also Astro on the Jetsons, so on the Dog Case, Papa Smurf and Azrael on the Smurfs. Voice of Hampton J. Pig in Tiny Toon Adventures, and he unfortunately passed away in 1997 at the age of 71, and in both these games, only case of voicing Scooby-Doo in the games, and his last performance as Scooby-Doo before he retired. But all right, we came in here, so that's the idea, and we need an electric item to open that door. Otherwise, yeah, run into it. By the way, you're not yourself hurt if you run into that door. Okay, just keep going around and looking. It's like, fine, she's not gonna pick that up. So Velma is like, yeah, she can't pick it up, so fine. We'll assume for sake of argument, maybe she did lose her glasses, but hey, it's a generator. Cool. So that's all we need, because we do need that to get through the door. And there's a rug. But it's not suspicious, so fine. Shaggy's like, fine, we don't need this. We need this power cable. Okay, have another Scooby snack. All right. Actually, yeah, she starts with 3 of them when you start the mysteries, but fine, she gets more of them, and I think it's based upon how far you get in and also based on the clues you get. So yeah, let's give him the items. If you have to have the items selected, hit the select button to go through them, and hit R to talk to him. So here's the, yeah, this is the electric door, need something to open it. Great, guys, maybe we can use the the generator to get through, and we might need something to connect to the line. So use this. So buzz, 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 there we go, and get through. And the door's open. And we do have the lantern. It's not going to come into factor right now, but it will come soon enough. And actually, I'll say this. I had to up the brightness on this game massively in order to actually see anything. Even when we're on my TV, I was actually doing stuff on the audio test today, just getting a sense of, I can't see any of the platforms in this. Like, yeah, the audience is not going to be able to see anything. Even with my brightness blared massively on my TV, I couldn't see a damn thing, so I said, what am I gonna do about this? We do have a dark area, which is what you have this for. And there's a key, so hi. Oh, she gave me another one already, shit, okay. Ow. But I think we just need the key, and then we'll be all set. And you do need the key in order to go in this door. It's worth pointing out this, you do need to have the key selected, and it is selected when it's the center box. So hit that and it goes away. And right now there's also not much we're gonna have to search for. We're gonna have to do that later. And usually what I sometimes do is I'll basically just walk around. I just tap the X button, because you hold the X button down to search, and Scooby will use that nose of his to find an item if there's one present. But if you keep hitting X, you just kind of just do his head down like that. It's like, yeah, he's just shaking his head that way. Yeah, Scooby, you okay? Yeah, oh, you okay, Scoob? Yeah, I think he's fine. He's like, right, Raggy. But here is a bar gold. So I think we're gonna have a clue, perhaps. Like, yeah, we got all this stuff going on. There's aspects of shipwrecks. There's ill-gotten gains in the chest. There's a fake eye patch, because, like, wait, there's a hole in that. Why do they need to use that for seeing? What about this bar of gold? Except it's warm, so wait a second. Isn't gold supposed to be hardened? Yeah, true. The pirate melted it down, stolen gold. So in that case, yeah, it's too not hard for that. So in that case, there we go. So she'll eventually tell you, yeah, we got enough to solve the mystery. And then what happens is you go and see Freddy. Because usually the idea is like, he usually has a trap plan, a trap to get the ghost set. But in this case, yeah, I'll just talk to him and say hi. Okay, so we have to build a trap to catch the ghost, or the pretend pirate. So there are items nearby, so bring them to me so I can build the trap, and he will show you the blueprint. So here is Freddy, of course, holding it out there saying, okay, here's my plan. My plan is that teddy bear we got. Now, you don't always have the items when you first talk to him, so sometimes you have to go around and find them. Actually, in this case, there's one item we couldn't pick up, and it's because of this. We have to go and get it now when the game tells you can. Which is going to come into factor when we get to the third mystery, and I'm not going to like that, but I'll bring it up when we get there. So right now we have 2 of the items. We have the teddy bear. We're going to use that to lure him over there, because he's like, hey, wait a second, this is this teddy bear that I know, that he left around. There's the trolley we found, which we'll be using to kill the rats and the parrots. And we have a rug. We need a rug. That's going to hide the trolley, so we're going to use that as a way to get him going. So, all right, when you're done with that, hit the start button. And if you don't remember what you need, you can talk to him again. In fact, I'll show that briefly. Great, this will take the feet out from under him, and you have to give him the items in the order you have them, so if you don't have them, he might not take it. So, you just find everything you can. But we need a rug next. So in this case, he will not take the teddy bear until I go get him the rug. And the good news is we know where there is a rug, we just couldn't pick it up yet. And the rug was over here. So yeah, this is not gonna go very long. This game is admittedly not that long. Which is a good thing, I think, for the purpose of it, so we have a little bit of a bite-sized show, but also the idea like, hey, a licensed game going back into the day. And there've been a lot with Scooby-Doo as it's been, but my experience with these 2 16-bit ones, this one and the Sega Genesis version, and soon enough with Night of 100 Frights, I did play the demo of, I think it was Unmasked, I think it was on the Xbox. I have a demo disc that has that on it. We can show that at some point. I'll cover his head with this so we can't see what he's doing, but fine. He said it's gonna go on the, oh yeah, he's gonna use that. Fine, we're putting it on there, I guess, to lure him over there, and then I guess we throw it on top of him. So now you use the teddy bear, you entice him into our trap. So yeah, we have to be the bait for this one. Now go find One-Eyed Matt and make sure he follows you in, okay? So there you go, zoinks! Find the pirate and get him to chase us, like, no way, man. Ray, Raggy. And of course, like, would you do it for a Scooby snack? Yeah, I think we would do it for Scooby Snack. Ruby Rack. All right, I guess we're sold on the idea. Like, we're sold on the idea. Let's go, Scoob. So, all right, fine. We don't need it. Fine, I'll just keep eating them. I'm just getting, fine. I'm maximizing my Scooby Snacks because I don't need them. We're not gonna die for the purpose of this one. There's other ones we might. And your items do not hold over mysteries. It's worth pointing out. But just go over here and find him. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. No. Actually, I made this mistake on the test as well, which is I have to just go to the right. So there he is. See, I do jump that way. They're shaking that way. But like, fine. Yeah, he will feasibly catch you, but it's not an instant death. Thank God. Imagine if it was that case. The people who made this are fair. So run through here. That's all you need to do, and hit the lights. So with that, there we go. Tied him up, and there we go. So we managed to foil One-Eyed Matt's plan. So he's going to steal the treasure. He's going to melt it down into the gold so he could then sell it for profit. But now we got to see like, who's actually behind this. So behind this mask is Captain Porter. Probably wondering who that is. We'll get into that in just a second. But anyway, Captain Porter's idea is saying that nobody actually wants this treasure. They're just going to put it into a museum and show it there. So what good it would do? So in this case, they become talking villain syndrome at the end when they're caught, saying, fine, I decided to scare everybody off the wreck with the ghost story and me being One-Eyed Matt and get the treasure before the museum took it and then put it in. And we've gotten away for it too if we weren't for you meddling kids and your dog. So there you go. That is the end of the first mystery. At the end of each mystery, you get a password. And I do have them all written down if we get a game over because there's no continues in this game. So you do have to go through the game in one shot unless you get game over or quit it and then you can run password this way. Thank God there's 7 characters. The Genesis version is a little over 7 times as long at 50 characters. Like, what were they thinking? Seriously, that's crazy. And you have upper and lowercase letters in that. It's like, wait, what? But one thing I will go into before we go into the next thing, look at this nice picture of Daphne giving Scooby a Scooby snack. The names of the villains in this, and also how based on the TV show is this? Actually, not much in terms of the mysteries. You think, oh, it's based on something on the TV show. But no, they're totally original. As far as who the villains are, they are named after members of the development team of this game. This one is Captain Porter, who is named after Matthew Porter, who, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, is the lead programmer on this game, and also some other stuff, as was the case, and programmed on Croc for PlayStation and Sega Saturn, and soon the new version that's coming out, which will be out next year. But all right, that is our first mystery done and solved. So with that, we can go to the next one. So we need a break. After 43 minutes, we're gonna have a break going on, so we're gonna drive off. So let's go to the fun fair, or the Bing Bong Brothers Fun Fair specifically. So Velma has the idea, like, let's go there. So, like, groovy, man. We can get hot dogs, cotton candy, and great rides. All right, so here's Bing Bong Brothers. They also, for some reason, cut that line off specifically and don't have a punctuation mark, but there you go. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. He also does not say that in this game. He does in the Sega Genesis version. So we're pointing that out, although it is very distorted because it's a Genesis case. But there we go. So we're all set. So next mystery. This is the mystery of the Bing Bong Brothers Fun Fair. It is one of the longest mysteries in the game. It's also a case where we get a new piece of music. This is the only case in the game where we get a new piece of music. And Shaggy is setting his boundaries, saying, no, we're not going to a ghost train this time, but well, we're going to relax, okay? Don't get bent out of shape. But wait a second, why is there a padlock on that tent, and why are all the rides closed? Well, yeah, this place is dead. And of course, like, yeah, that wording, because Velma is the smart one, she comes then, like, red? It's like, yeah, that's weird. Yeah, why is it red? That's not good. Find red like in blood. But there's a sign over there by Daphne. What's it say? Ruh-roh. Yeah, definitely the case as far as Dolly Finn. Sure, I get that. Thank you. Okay, it says the fun fair is closed because of ghosts. Yeah, it's haunted. So yeah, it's a haunted fair, of course, because we can't avoid not having things haunted for Mystery Inc., of course. So we got another mystery. We're going to relax. As far as our late night, it was like, fine, no. Like, that's good news. It's like, yeah, fine. It's more for the game, at least. All right, we'll get to the bottom of this. So yeah, they have the can-do perspective. Yeah, the teenagers that way. We're going to do it. So we're going to find some clues. So off they go to the park. And we'll follow them in just a second. Yeah, this place, I'm going to grab this. This is your coconuts. You get to throw those. You walk along and you jump. You're hearing that the sound effects for jumping are different in this level only. I don't know why. And same with sniffing. I don't know why it's different. Maybe because of the way they program the music, because this music is also a remix of actually a piece of music from the TV show when you're hearing stuff in the background like the So it is from the TV show, but this is the only level you hear it, and for some reason it changes the sound effects for the entire game. Only this level. Don't ask me why, but it did. But all right, let's go to the fair and we'll see what's going on and do sniffing around. You have to do sniffing around more, so we're gonna get the book with the arm on it. But of course, here's an evil clown. So yeah, if you don't like clowns, this feasibly is the scariest game we're gonna play this year until we get to Twisted Metal in 2 weeks. And you do have Casey Kasem going, the evil clown. So yeah, he does say that specifically. So yeah, you do get that perspective of, the Scooby-Doo perspective of this. We're gonna pick up this little thing and go around. It's also pointing out, yeah, they're gonna tell you, yeah, you guys explore these areas in the order we want you. So unfortunately, this is not that open of a game. It's not like the Genesis version. Oh, that's also kind of railroaded in a little bit of a way. What do you guys say? They're close around and sniff them out. So yeah, you have to use the sniff much more in this episode for sure, and especially for the rest of the game. Also, some of the tents, as you're also hearing that idea as far as the music from the TV show, they go silent for a while. The case of my first place, like, wait, where's the music? Now, some of these tents you can go in, but not all of them. They're all open though. And there's oil, we'll get to that later. But basically just hit up on D-pad when you get towards them to see, can you go in? So you have to kind of trial and error it. But here we go, we got Scooby Snack to start. We'll get the hammer. So here's the deal. We're gonna play a game, so we're gonna sort of have mini games in this a little bit, or fine, more than just the two. We'll get those again. But for the fun fair, we got a couple things we gotta do. We have this test your strength game. So this is like a barbell. You have to put that down. Somebody left it here. So stand right next to it, hit the A button, and oh, I left. And you hit up and down through the gates to go through them. Yeah, we gotta go back. And we'll hold in place still, so don't worry about that. Now, we did need to get this book. In fact, actually, if you don't know what it is, in fact, I'll have Velma tell us. They kind of went a little ahead of the case of that, so let me have her tell us what that is. Okay, it's a manual to prove your strength. But we haven't had anything else going on. And this is the way to do it, so yeah, there's the dunk of fish thing over there, but you do need to find that book. You need to sniff that book out, and you get the hammer, which you can use as a weapon. And by the way, it does not hurt your team members. Yeah, fine, you're going behind her. So like, yeah, I'm just missing. You do need that training manual in order to hit this, to hit the bell. And with that, you get a key. So talk to Freddy, he'll tell us what we can do with that. Okay, yeah, just keep enjoying the atmosphere for sure on this. Okay, so now we can go investigate more of the fun fair. So yeah, you do have to kind of go through and do what he needs. And here's the lamp oil. So yeah, it's like Zelda's on the CDI, or the Zelda games on CDI. Yeah, we need lamp oil, but we need a lamp. We'll get that later. That's one of the items, that and Scooby Snacks, that are consistent across all the mysteries. We also have the claw. So yeah, for Toy Story case, fitting, because that was also case at the time this game came out. Yeah, keys to locked attractions, so try it over there. Also, there is a werewolf over there, so yeah, if you touch him, you get yourself hurt. In that case, just walked off. I'm gonna walk in here. Yeah, this part is dark. You're supposed to come in here with the lamp, but I'm gonna just sniff here. You can find the item that's in here, which is a nickel. So with that case, we'll use this actually over here. In fact, did she say it's a nickel? It's 5 cents. Try the coin slots. Actually, that's not right. Actually, I've never seen that, because fine, you don't put it in that, you put it in this. It's not a coin slot, this is a claw machine, a crane game. By doing that, you get the strongman item. Yeah, you just instantly win. Put money in and win. You wish it was that way as far as the crane games in real life. But we want a doll. Yeah, that's what we did. Some sort of pass inside of it though, so maybe Freddy will know. So yeah, there we go. We've got a pass to go through, but before we do that, we're gonna search around and find other stuff. This one you basically have to sniff out everything. So pretty much just scour the entire area. Which maybe can maybe get a little repetitive, but it's something that, yeah, this is not a bad game, despite some of the things I'm saying about it. It's pretty fun. It gets the idea of the Enterprise across, and fine, it's much easier to come to than the Genesis version. The Genesis version is really hard because of the way it's designed, and weird how it's designed. There's the clown. You can also kind of jump over him, and if you're not in his arms, you'll be fine. In this case, you'll have to bounce on the fun castle. If you hold the B button while you're on that, you're going to also be able to bounce that way. I remember the console show did use this as a factor against this game, saying like, hey, that's the jump animation, but no, it's not. This is the jump animation specifically. But we do get the lamp, and we're going to be using that in just a second. There's actually one part of this mystery that I do not like at all, and I made sure to get the brightness up on my television because I couldn't see a damn thing doing this on my practice. I said, it's impossible to see certain things, and it's actually had to adjust the brightness specifically on OBS to make sure you could actually see this. Actually, you're getting a better view than I am, because even my television, I couldn't get as bright as you're seeing on the video, but that's most important for the case of this. Yeah, we'll do better as far as the sandwich, too. It's worth pointing out that the poultry item, or fine, the protein items, specifically the steak, or the steak arm, or the meat arm, and the chicken are the heaviest. So it's kind of a balancing act. So when you see him going like that, he looks fine like that, but when his eyes kind of droop, that's when you're like, hey, just be careful. Just don't hold the Y button doing this. That's what I usually do. It's like, hey, just keep going. And if you do get the sandwich big enough before time runs out, they'll just finish it as it is. Way better. Okay, like that. This is funny. Yeah, it definitely is as far as that, because the idea of capturing that perspective, hey, they're gonna raid the refrigerator. That's what they want to do as far as Shaggy and Scooby. And there you go. We got a mystery bonus of 1,000 points, a Mondo sandwich, so there's the 60s lingo, and we got a life. So in that case, yeah, that's how you want to play this. You want to play this to get extra lives. I'll feasibly show dying off at some point, probably in the next mystery, because yeah, there's parts of that actually get into instant death case. And fine, there's the werewolf. Oh, yeah, you got me, Scoob. And you do take more damage as far as that, but I'll take that item. Ow. Although I guess fitting this, we can talk about other aspects as far as Scooby-Doo with other things of it. Because fine, when I see the werewolf here, Chad, I don't know if you're familiar with this. There have been a bunch of Scooby-Doo movies going around. Like, fine, there's the live-action CG ones from the 2000s. They were directed by Raja Gosnell, who made Never Been Kissed, and Beverly Hills Chihuahua. And there was also, and they were written by James Gunn, who directed Guardians of the Galaxy. There were a lot of the animated ones. Some of them were direct-to-video, like Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island. There's Scoob from a couple years ago that was okay. Even with ties to other Hanna-Barbera properties like Blue Falcon and Dynamite. We talked about them when we played F-Zero X for Nintendo 64. Yeah, it didn't quite do that for me specifically, but as far as the 80s, there were a couple. I remember there's Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, but as far as most pertinent to this one, is Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf, which basically, it's kind of if Scooby-Doo decided to do a remake of Teen Wolf, where Shaggy becomes a werewolf, and even like his girlfriend, like whenever he has hiccups, he turns into the werewolf. And like, what's going on? He's like, what's happening to me specifically? But all right, we got the past, so by taking the past, we can go through here, even though we can walk through specifically. But yeah, I'll give the indication as far as Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. I did like that one. I liked Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed as far as the live-action ones. I don't like the first one that much. And actually, I really like Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, which is a direct-to-video thing from 1998, I believe, where in that case it said, this time the monsters are real. And actually, that one does a lot of interesting things with the characters, much more so like Velma, where Velma's, I think, about shock value from what I saw, because I haven't seen it. I've only seen bits and pieces of it, but we got a newspaper showing Daphne here saying, hey, this is in a failed state because, yeah, the fair's in trouble, so the media is saying, so we found that, so maybe that's why the place is closed. Who'd want to close it, or why would it be closed? Fine, we're finding why it's feasibly closed, because fine, people are not attending. But why are they not attending? So fine, within the dialogue, you have to put the piece of the mystery together, as opposed to like, hey, let me think this through. Fine, because as I mentioned, Scooby-Doo Mystery on the Sega Genesis makes you have to search around for everything. It was getting clown masks. And actually, one of the other ones that does that, yeah, ghost attending, yeah, as far as where they are, no, I get that, for sure. Or, oh, as far as, Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School. I think I did see that one. Ow. And yeah, you have the haunted unicycle. Stay the hell away from these things. Also, if you're gonna hit him with the hammer, be very specific, and also you have to get him in either hitting him hammer, specifically directly, get the hell out of the way with that, or throw the damn coconut at it. I miss. You do have a little bit of an arc that way. Fine, it died. You saw that as far as the points going up. There's that, yeah, for Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, I do believe I saw that, but it's been years since I've seen it. Some of those are actually pretty interesting as it is, and fine, there's Daphne, we need a Scooby snack, please. We're gonna die if we don't have one. And we also got some shoes. Yeah, interesting things I guess they do as far as Scooby-Doo with, I guess, that series. And fine, even like the tiebacks, fine, not the tiebacks, the crossovers they do, because fine, they did that with the new Scooby-Doo movies in the 1970s. Like meeting Batman, I think they meant Elvis, or Albert, no, Abbott and Costello. I almost said Elvis Costello. For all I know, they probably did. They met the WWE, for God's sake, and they met Kiss in modern takes of this, surprisingly. As far as like, yeah, Scooby-Doo and Kiss, who knew? Then again, to be fair, Kiss is kind of, as far as the band of That was the name of, if I know Peter Criss, because I know the joke that Family Guy said, which is nobody wants to be Peter Criss, including Peter Criss. Gene Simmons, as far as that. Yeah, the glam rock band from the 1970s and 80s. They've always been good sports as far as that, of like guest starring on stuff like Family Guy and The Fairly Odd Parents and Scooby-Doo as well, specifically. But even back then, they were kind of having some of this crossover stuff going on with it, and then other stuff they tried with the movies, which were kind of interesting. Fine, the case with Velma is that, fine, I haven't seen it, because I don't have HBO Max. I've said before on the show, shit, as the, the werewolf says, I love HBO Max, don't talk about why you're boycotting it for life, because they censor things willy-nilly, and they're also, what is it? They're inconsistent on why they do it and how they do it, and they're taking stuff off, and even fans are saying, like, well, you're taking all these Cartoon Network shows off for no reason. You own the licensing, for God's sake. Yeah, watch out. You see, like, the shock from Dolly Finn in the chat. I get that, for sure. Like, sometimes you can't plan these things that are better. I've always said we plan the show, I swear to God. You're like, yeah, get away from that unicycle. Yeah, that unicycle's gonna kill me if I'm not careful. Shit, no! Okay, fine, I showed dying. You get scared enough, you jump off that way, and like, oh, fine, you're dead. You get this cutscene specifically where, yeah, you're getting scared and you're running off, although fine, they don't die. They live. And fine, it's probably good I died there because the next part is actually gonna be somewhere where I can die easily. But if you do die, it's worth pointing out, so I'm glad I got to show this. You come into an area, or the area you were last in, with your meter off. But fine, I gotta give her 2 clues, I've got to do that. Big floppy clown shoes, but they're covered in ice cream. It's like, okay, why ice cream? So the clown must be hiding in the ice cream van, which we did see at the beginning when we came in here. But who needs big shoes like that? A clown does, feasibly. But fine, what about the mask? They spare clown masks. Okay, spare. But why would he need a spare mask if he's a ghost? I don't know, feasibly something happens to the other one. I don't know, it breaks, feasibly, but fine. You're piecing together what it is, I guess. Specifically, I was going to say also this, which is, when it comes to the idea of, I guess, piecing the mystery together, I mean, I guess one of the ones that kind of does that, I've never played this, I'm kind of curious too, is Scooby-Doo Classic Creep Capers it's on Nintendo 64, where it plays like Resident Evil. It has controls of like Resident Evil, where you're basically hitting up to go forward, but it also changes direction as you go. Even Nintendo Power, which always said everything was fine as far as controls, said, yeah, the controls of this game are awful because of that, specifically. But also, the Game Boy Color version is like a point-and-click adventure, and kind of like the Genesis game of this a little bit, but it is also something that has a lot of interesting dialogue. You have to kind of piece the mystery together, although honestly, I'll tell you this, free idea for when they come back to Scooby-Doo of a game, there's been tons of them. Maybe there's one like this that I'm not aware of, and Chad, if you know of one like this, feel free to tell me. Make it like almost like a Phoenix Wright or actually better, like a Professor Layton case. It's like, hey, going around finding clues to that, or something like, I don't know, L.A. Noire, if it was for kids that way. I guess Shenmue, which we're gonna start in a few months, and Dolly Finn's gonna be involved. We're gonna go on a slide. This is one of the mini games I can die in, so I gotta be careful. What you do on this one, you slide down, you have the question mark thing, and you have the arrows going up telling you what's coming up, and you do have it kind of choppy as you're sliding down this, and you also have more than one shoot up for that. You jump over those mace balls. You hit them, you get your scare meter, fright meter increased. If you get to max, you're gonna lose. And sometimes you have to go to the right far, jump and hold right to get past some of those big ones. Just wait to not jump, and then jump over that. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, and I did that perfectly, but there is one thing I did want to do. Neat. Yeah, it is pretty neat. It is more choppy than I expect coming out of Super Nintendo, but the idea that it is using stuff for the tech of that, and if you do get through, you get a key. It'll open up with the fun fair, but we're going back in, because I do want to show a little bit of a secret. Because if you do take tons of damage on this, fine. If you take too much, you die. So be careful not to do that, and if you hit into any of the, any of the spike balls, you're gonna get yourself hurt. Somehow I took no damage last time. I don't know how. Fine, because there's a preview to do The Lion King next month, because The Lion King has this bullshit in the second level as well, and it's even harder, specifically as far as, and if you hit only one thing, it's an instant death. So yeah, we'll get to that when we play that game. Do not worry, I am not forgetting that, and you can't avoid it. All right, but I did get hit. Oh shit. Okay, I didn't mean to exit again. I will show that specifically as getting the dancing. Looks like Tempig from Pokemon, as far as in the chat there from Dolly Finn. It says Bang Boo Bounce. There you go, finding the emojis, emoticons specifically. Thank you, Dolly Finn, for sure of that. Fine, because what I want to do is, okay, fine. I also showed the idea that, hey, when you have your frightometer filled up by getting hit by things near, it does carry over when you leave. But I want to jump over the exit sign. And a very specific reason I want to do that. Yeah, there's a little bit of variety, so you do get these little bursts saying like, hey, wait a second, this is pretty neat. And you do get Scooby Snack, your what is it? Your meter is recovered a little bit. Whoa. There you go. Okay. If you jump over it, you get tons of Scooby Snacks, and in that case, you can't avoid it. So there you go. I just wanted to show that at least. So in case, yeah, if you took a lot of damage and you jump over the exit, you can come in and get tons of Scooby Snacks, so you get yourself completely recovered. And yeah, no. Yeah, who knew unicycles are so scary? Actually, the scarier part of this, well, not that. Oh, fine. Since the mouse runs slow, I can't hit him with the hammer. Oh, well, maybe not. Yeah, you have to be dead on with the hammer. And sometimes you can hit him in the, what is it? In the radius of the dust. Sometimes you can't, so fine, screw it. I'm gonna throw, what is it? The coconuts. And he does have a bit of an arc. It's like, the case of Valley's throwing it. Yeah, thank you. But also, you do run out of these things. They're not infinite, so you do have to be careful that way. But you can usually pick up more of the throwable items, as I'm gonna try and get rid of the mouse. There you go. It's more just to get yourself going, and I do want to get the lamp oil. So the lamp will burn brighter. Because there's somewhere we're gonna go where we do need to have that set, and I'm gonna do that as quick as I can. In fact, it's right here. But before we go in, I'm going to search this area. Or I'll just jump over the unicycle. That's an idea. Whoa. And sometimes there are items you can sniff out when there's an enemy around or walking around. That's all they'll do. They won't chase you usually outside of that, except at the end of the mysteries. Fine, what about this mop and bucket? But his hair looked kind of like a mop too, so wait a second. There's balloons caught in the mop, so what's going on here? Yeah, seems like it might be a wig, but if he's actually a ghost, So you're saying, hey, she's the smart, she's looking at this logically. You won't need a mop. All right, let's go in. I gotta get the key. Where the hell's the key? Oh, right. Right, to search in this area for the key, you have to sniff the key out. Or wait, do I? Oh yeah, yes you do, yes you do. I think. Fine, screw it, I'm gonna, okay, fine, I hit it there. The hit detection on that is actually very specific. Fine, this one I'm gonna toss this, because I don't need anything else for throwing. And it also counts as losing stuff if you miss. Okay, there we go. Right, so I need to sniff out the key, which is, I think it's here. Actually, no, it isn't. Hang on. This is one of those cases where you do have to sniff the key out. It's near one of the entrances. Actually, no, I got that one already, didn't I? Right, because I got the one that opens this up. I know it's in front of one of the gates. So oh, no, I gotta go back. So fine. That's what sometimes can happen on this mystery, I will say that. That sometimes you have to scour everything, and if you miss one area, it's like, yeah, go back. Though, to be fair, these areas are not massive. It's just a case of, yeah, whoa. Yeah, just sometimes have to go around, so I just gotta remember where it is. In fact, I think it might be... I think I sniffed everywhere around, but yeah, this is also feasibly what the game can feasibly devolve into. And no, I sniffed everything here. Fine, do this quick method, do this. As long as you do that, he'll still find something underneath the ground, unless, ow. Okay, fine, I avoided them. All right, so it must be over here. Yeah, I sniffed out this whole area. I sniffed this. Okay, so fine, it is on the way. And you don't have to, no, because I got the key already. And I used to go through here. And I sniffed this entire area, so there's nothing there, so screw this. I'm gonna go, oh. Yeah, I just lived. Okay, where the hell is it? I thought I had the key, where the hell is it? Okay, fine, let's kill this thing, the evil unicycle. Yeah, oh crap, and I'm out of stuff now for this shit, all right. Fine, nothing else I'm also showing, yeah, what the, case of this can be, and fine, I'm dead. You can also skip this if you want to, if you hit the start button. I'm not gonna do it, I'm just gonna let it play. Okay, so fine, let's look at this again, because yeah, where that key is, I think I must have missed it. But just show you that, hey, this one's like, yeah, if you miss something, you're gonna have to feasibly go back. All right, so it's not here, so we're gonna have to go back and find it. Yeah, in the meantime, chat, feel free to go and stuff more on Scooby-Doo. Can you give me a Scooby snack? Shit, no. Also to point out, when you're in dialogue with character, thankfully if the enemy touches you, do not lose, or you not get a Fredometer increase on yourself. Thank God. And I don't think I have to do this again. Fine, if I have to do that again, I'll try it, but I don't think I have to. I think you only have to do it once. God, I'll go to the other gates, because I know in front of one of the gates is a key. I think I didn't get it. It's not here. So fine, we know so far is, yeah, that's where the ghost is. I just want to make sure I didn't miss it or I didn't screw myself. Okay, here's the thing. This is beatable. It's not a case that, hey, you know, you're going to get yourself in an unwinnable situation. Oh, then again, given the fact of how I threw the card at one-eyed Matt and it didn't do anything, the almost 30 years I've been playing this game, I've never seen that, so I don't know what to say about that. Fine, well, there's oil. If I do need that oil for what I'm going to do next, if I can get my ass over there and find what I need, and then we should be fine. Okay, I did scour this area. And fine, if all else fails, I'll try the slide again, but... And there's nothing on the roller coaster. Unfortunately, we can't go on the roller coaster. Actually, Scooby-Doo Mystery on the Genesis says you go on the roller coaster. So if, yeah, you want your roller coaster action, play the Genesis game. But get ready to pay some money for that one. And nothing at the beginning because, yeah, we checked that already. And there was nothing over here, which is where the, what is it? The Test Your Might game is. Fine, Test Your Strength. Fine, I'm thinking Test Your Might for Mortal Kombat. Fitting, I guess, because Acclaim published that on the system too. Okay, so fine, it's not here. It's not anywhere as far as that. So I gotta remember where the hell it is. Unless it's in a tent. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I didn't go into a tent. Okay, no, that's the tent I went in. But fine, I guess I gotta go in the tent. So let's check the tents, just make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, damn unicycle, I don't want that. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Actually, I don't, no, okay, I went in here for the clown shoes. And there's anything in here. Yeah, feasibly, I guess I'm not doing a good job of showing this game as far as, I guess, aspects of, like, why would somebody defend this? Fine, because I guess I'm defending. I don't think it's a bad game. It's just weird with some of the stuff with design. And sometimes you have to comb the area, otherwise you're gonna miss what it is. I did practice this whole game. I did go through the entire game, so we should be okay. Fine, let me go in this again. I don't think you get a second key off of this, but just in case. There's nothing else, we're getting no good case of what the slide is looking like. I mean, I guess it's weird, just kind of choppy, because fine, Argonaut, as I mentioned, fine, they made Star Fox. We played Star Fox on the show, and I think next time we come back to Argonaut, I guess also after we finish Croc 2, or Croc 1, I should say, after we finish Croc as well, we will, I know you wanted Star Fox 2 for Super Nintendo, which they did make, and never got released. Yeah, jump over here and just get more health. There we go, at least I got recovery of health. Yeah, because that was also always stuff they did. They did stuff with tech. I mentioned they jailbroke the Game Boy as far as the purpose of getting their partnership with Nintendo. They made Star Fox with the polygonal graphics going on with that. They made X on Game Boy, which was like Star Fox before Star Fox in terms of doing that on the Game Boy. And yet, for some reason, it never came out here. Even though they're a European company, don't ask me why that was. Whoa! Okay, I can't go through there. Actually, you know what? I want to look at something, because you know who's missing from this equation? Freddy. I haven't seen him in a while. Where the hell did he go? Oh, wait a minute. Do I have to... Oh, hold on a second. Right, I remember now. I had to go talk to him, and... Okay, that's what happened. I remember now. I had to go talk to him, because then he'll say, like, wait a minute, I found a key walking around. So, okay, fine. That was my fault. I forgot that you have to go do that. But he's back at the beginning, so actually I have to go back. Yeah, but that's the thing. Sometimes it's a case of, like, yeah, keep everything together. Okay, I'm thinking ahead, because you do need to do a sniff across a gate in order to find something later. So fine, the one place I didn't go, it's over here, so fine. Freddy, you're over here. You say you have some way to in, right? Oh. Oh wait, he's giving the mystery update now. Wait, well, hold on a second. Wait, why is he giving us the... Hold on. Why is he giving me the mystery update? Isn't this a Velma thing? I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Okay, that's weird. So apparently he can give you a mystery update too? I never knew that happened. Okay, so fine, never mind, he's not there, so... Oh, right. Okay, I think I remember now. So that, okay, that's weird. Hey, if nothing else, I'm showing off stuff about this game. Fine, as I always say, you're getting a unique play of any game we play here on the show, including cases where I'm not even prepared when I come on saying, what are we gonna have on this game? But, no, talk to Velma, maybe she knows. Yeah, that's the same thing, so hold on a second. Okay, if nothing else, I was able to get coconuts so you can go and replenish. Yeah, I want that thing dead. Okay, hang on. If I somehow got into an unwinnable position, I'm gonna comb this damn thing. Just to make sure. Because I don't have a key on my person anymore. And you need to use the key in order to get in there, but I thought I had the key, or would have the key going through here, unless... Yeah, I sniffed this whole area. Wait a second. Okay, so hang on. Okay, now I'm just curious about what this is. Yeah, I'm just gonna scour this damn place. I don't care. Because if I did somehow get myself in an unwinnable situation, I'm very concerned about that. And I picked up the key. I know I picked up the key. Fine, let's do this again, but what I'm gonna do this time is... I'm not gonna jump over the exit. I'll hopefully live through this. Ow. Uh-oh. Okay, fine, I'm dead. That does count as a death, by the way, if you die in here. So fine, assume for sake of argument we fell off that thing. Okay. Fine, we're back here again. I'll say this, if it gets bad enough, I scour this thing and I can't find it. I'll reset and put the password in. It's like, okay, if I'll be curious if I somehow found something unwinnable this game, which for years I didn't think there was a case of this. But all right, fine, Ruh-roh indeed. So yeah, there you go. Fine, I'll try this again and live. As long as you don't hit too many of the spike balls, you'll be fine. In the meantime, chat, yeah, feel free to hit me anything else you got as far as on your mind, gaming or other stuff, or ideas as far as Halloween, because yeah, we're entering that perspective final now. And I do love doing the Halloween shows, and hey, next week we are going to have a case of that earlier and a guest. Okay, fine, there you go. We got the end. Yeah, doing like the surf there, that way. It's okay, we got it. Okay, so, yeah, because I got the key. Okay, so the key's fine. We searched here entirely. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, no. Okay, now I remember. I think it's over here. I think somewhere in this area I missed it. I think. I hope. Actually, I think it's where that truck we went into is. I think so. Yeah, just sniff the area. And it will not be on the like the bouncy castle. Actually, for years I did not know that's what it was. I thought like, wait. Okay, Scooby, feasibly, can you save us as far as getting through this? Okay, no. I mean, unless this goes to what the next mystery does, because the next mystery, it's worth pointing out, there's oh yeah, oh, there it was. Okay, thank God. Okay, I didn't miss it. Good. I just didn't sniff in here. But yeah, that's what happens. If you don't sniff everywhere, you can miss something. Okay. Also, given where we're going, I'm getting the oil now for the lamp. We need this. Okay, thank God I found it. Okay, good. So it's not a winnable situation. Just to make sure don't miss anything. Otherwise, you're going to be in a case of wandering around. I mean, aside from that, I don't think this is a bad game. It's just a case that, fine, that's one aspect of the design that, hey, you knew to search around. Although, fine, to be fair, the Genesis version's also that case, because, fine, that... I mentioned that when we get to The Secret of Monkey Island, just in general, because I think we should play that. That game is really, really funny as far as the weirdness of it, but also, a lot of times the puzzles don't make any sense. So, in that case, it's kind of a weird one from gameplay. Okay, thank God we're going in here. Yeah, actually, here's the part I was actually dreading. So fine, I was putting off the inevitable of what I had to do, going through here in this truck in the dark. You can see the enemies and you can see the platforms, so basically keep an eye on what that is, and by getting the lantern oil, the spotlight for this will be bigger. You do need it to be big for the purpose of going through this. And there's one item that's near the end, so don't leave without it, but it's feasibly something you can't miss. Whoa, shit, the enemy. Also, I fell, so yeah. Yeah, I don't like this part, as I mentioned also, probably because when I was doing my test, I couldn't see anything in here, even with this. And fine, you can come in this without the lantern, but may God help you if you want to get through this. Also, the way the screen is, you feasibly can't see where the platforms are, so sometimes it take a little bit of a leap of faith to make it over, and if you fall down there, you have to go backwards, and remember, oh, well... Okay, there's a... Actually, I don't think I got that. Fine, not all of the, what is it? Fine, mouse, you need to die. Okay, I just need to time it specifically. You don't necessarily have to get all the clues, you have to get a couple of them. Some of the hidden ones. No, factor, okay, hang on. Oh, right, I forgot, right. I have to go this way. But it does create a nice atmosphere as far as the light. It's just a case that, yeah, seen in the dark. I mean, the stuff with Zelda, we've had a case of that. And fine, it's like the Zelda CDI games, of course you get lamp oil. It's like, yeah, so you can see the areas. Fine, that's worse. Because oftentimes, you run out of lamp oil really quickly and you have to go back to see more shoe in order to get more, and it's a pain in the ass from a design standpoint. Although, to be fair, this one you don't have as many cases to get lantern oil. There's only about like 3 on an area, and I don't think they respawn. I don't think they do. Although fine, we're gonna kind of make a big ass U-turn for this one, so we'll put it to the test in just a second. Also, I get that Scooby snack, that would also be great. Though, I don't know if I want to take a chance. Also, with fall damage, I also have to be careful walking off of this stuff, make sure there's actually a platform down there. Okay, I lived. I think I only just hit the wall, so I think I'm set. Okay, welding gear, get this. Do not leave here without the welding gear. For God's sake, do not leave without that. Actually, no, I think you need that. I think you need the sparkler. I think that's what this is. It takes us back to the front, even though it's like, yeah, geographically speaking, how does that make sense? Okay, we went in the truck. We came down from here, even though, I guess, I don't know, how'd the truck get here? Okay, don't ask. I don't know the answer, unless somebody out there does. Or maybe, if you worked on this game, maybe you know. Please. Welding gear allows us to break the lock. Okay, fine, you do need both of them, so never mind. I was totally full of shit when I said, hey, you don't need both. But that does open the gate here, so we can get through. All right, so here is the area with an X on the ground, and I guess it's like the circus area where you have a cannon here with gunpowder on the ground. And this is where I was thinking I have to do a sniff on one of the gates. Okay, we go up here. There we go. Okay, I need to hit something after what we dealt with as far as that before, so we're gonna whack some enemies. Why not? As we're pointing out, the pattern for the Whack-A-Monster game is gonna be the same no matter what level you do it on. I definitely want to try and get a life off of this. And yeah, groovy. Yeah, as long as you pay attention to where the fast hammer is, that's usually just what you want to go to. And just don't hit anybody. Because Scooby, yeah, I'm not gonna hold anything off of Scooby. He was with us. It's not Scooby's fault that we ran into that. That was my fault for missing that, so I'm gonna take ownership that way. That's what I do to practice as far as on the show. So yeah, I wanna make sure we're all set. Even sometimes, like, yeah, that one thing you can forget. Yeah, these monsters are going down with extreme prejudice in this case. There we go. Yeah, right there. It looked like I missed the ghoul, but you do have just enough time to hit him. You can always go for the hammer. You're going for all of them, get the hammer. Besides, you get extra time on every 25 as is anyway. And whoa! Okay, good news is, yeah, Count Bagosi, we'll see him later. He is going to be nice and just come up one at a time. Actually, I'll say on my practice on this, I actually did better on this in my practice than I've ever done in all the years of playing this, but it's not easy. I don't know if there's like a Let's Play of this showing like this being done perfectly. Maybe there is, we'll see. Yeah, nobody's getting hit on my watch. Got it, there we go. Okay, down, okay, I missed him, but it's fine. It's either way, you don't necessarily have to hit everything. Well, enough I'll be able to get more time. Okay, good. Actually, it's worth pointing out one thing I did notice. Oh shit, no! Sorry, Scooby! I was gonna say this. Yeah, the only person who's not in the vase as far as your friends is Freddy. I guess he realizes, yeah, you know what, I'm not gonna waste my time here. Alright, it's not mysterious to find a cannonball next to a cannon, good point. Alright, so yeah, let's go through, and yeah, you have a good case going on. Yeah, I'm having a fun time with this, even though I was like, yeah, I should have found that damn key. That was my case of it. But nonetheless, telling the story of what this game feasibly could do. Alright, there you go, we do need to have this. So, what's this? It's Red Clown Nose. The clown in Red Nose is, clowns tend to, so it's a clue. Alright, there we go. So why doesn't he spare one? Yeah, so it's fine. She's still taking the perspective, like, hey, let's assume for sake of argument that, whoa! Also, I guess then the slowdown is there when you have, Freddy and, Velma and Werewolf Man there. No. Fine, she's taking it realistically, I guess, saying, like, fine, I'm gonna assume for the sake of argument, yeah, that the ghosts are real. Fine. Yeah, it's dangerous, I'm not touching it. We touched that last time as far as the TNT barrel, but fine, we're not touching it now. That usually is a hint that you're gonna have to use this to solve the mystery at the end of it. But, yeah, the fact that she's kind of taking that perspective, or getting ready for when Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island came out, because in that case, the monsters were real, and actually I love that conceit. They used that for the marketing, and saying like, hey, this is gonna be interesting, but you watch that movie, it's actually really, really good. And even doing interesting things with the characters that, honestly speaking, I think it's better than the directions Velma's going, of what I've seen in the clips. Fine, as I said, with Velma, I've only seen the clips for it. I've heard horrible things. Even people who love Mindy Kaling stuff are not liking that. I was also wondering myself what happened to her after the Mindy project on Fox, because I actually thought she was good in that one, but then when Late Night came out in 2019, even fans of her stuff, I mean, I was at a screening of that movie when it came out. It was a case where, fine, she had a lot of commentary going on about her personal stuff, and I guess also her experience on The Office as far as potential sexism that went there, as she says, or ideas as far as women in the workplace and things like that. Which is one thing, but it's also a case of like, hey, what's funny about that? Even the case where, fine, I went to see that movie, and my audience groaned as far as the line she had, like, and that wasn't me doing that. I was like, yeah, even the audience there was like, really? They were not having any of that either. And same with Velma, I thought like, hey, we twist this around for something like that, it'll be interesting that way, but it wasn't, and also she, let's put it this way, as far as Mindy Kaling, she's not one to take criticism very well. I hate to say it. So yeah, she was not having any of it specifically. But the show did get a second season because they optioned 2 seasons to start. And other people say like, why you feasibly hate watching this because you mean you're gonna get enough ratings for HBO Max, or Max as it's now known, and get another season, which is true. Fine, here's the thing. My thing with HBO Max is more just the idea like, fine, if they're gonna censor, or fine, put messages saying about how wrong things are as far as past history, with, I don't know, Gone with the Wind. Why don't you do that for The Hangover Part 2, for God's sake, considering how bigoted that is? They don't. So it's that inconsistency saying, like, fine, you know, we have to apologize for this stuff, and fine, Warner Brothers, with all due respect, they've always been this way. They've always been bigoted forever, and they want to pretend like it was wrong, that was wrong. Now, they were fine with it back then. Let's just say it. So I'm not going to mince words on that one. That being said, I do need to get a sense of where I'm going again. All right, I got to give her the newspaper, right? Letter from the old janitor. He was fired for putting visitors' lives in danger. Okay, so this place is failing feasibly because people weren't going, but I guess the janitor is a risk to people's safety. But she's fixated on the nose, and I think the reason for that is because, oh yeah, if you give her this, you get a key. So fine, that's one thing. She'll give you a key if you get all those clues. I think they intend you to get in other orders. I think they intend you to get the newspaper first. But in this case, yeah, with that, we can go over this way and go over to the last area. All right, there's the duck chute. We can't do anything with that. But we do need that key in order to get into the trail that's right here. We're almost at the end of this mystery, thank God. Just as like, yeah, I don't want to get a case of it, or a case of something bad with this one, even though you're seeing what happened to this weird thing. It looks like a Christmas tree crumpled up. Even though I think for this mystery, I'm going to be running about the same time in length as the last one. Okay, hi, Daphne. Oh, no, not Daphne, Velma, sorry. And in this case, I don't even need to talk to her. It's like, hey, here's the clown costume. And I think we can solve the mystery with this. Really. All right, well, that's where I come in, so we can build trap now to catch him. So bring these items, go to the big top where we're at, and we can get this taken care of. Yeah, we couldn't pick up any of the stuff here, but we saw it all around. We're gonna pick it up. The glue, then we're gonna put on that X that marks the spot, the cannonball, the gunpowder, and the matches. Yeah, so we're gonna kill this guy, apparently. That's the thought, I guess, of Freddy here. Fine, because Velma, the show, goes in insanely dark things as far as details of the mysteries. So much so, it's a case where you think, like, well, wait a minute. Maybe this is too dark. This one, not quite. And fine, I'm also the guy who is, when it comes to Scooby-Doo stuff, who liked some of the jokes they've done about it with things like Johnny Bravo, when they had the perspective saying, like, they actually had the entire cast guest star as far as, like, finding a mystery in a mansion, and Johnny Bravo's there's like, hey, we're finding this mystery. He's like, what the hell's going on here? And he's basically wanting to get with Daphne and Velma specifically. And they're feasibly having none of it that way, but also the case of, fine, I think, if I'm correct, I think one of them was kind of like, oh, I kind of like this guy specifically. And even when they unmasked the guy, they were saying, like, hey, you know, who is this guy? And it's like, oh, this is who it is. Like, wait, that can't be right. And so they pull it off again. They say, it's Harry the Hypnotist. Wait, that's not right. They take it off, and they take like a bunch of masks off in a row saying, oh, right, okay, in that case, I couldn't avoid him. He was there. You saw that, so I just had to take some damage and find Shaggy doesn't care anymore. He's so depressed. Yeah, they just keep taking masks off. He says, Bigfoot, Don Knotts, Joe Barbera. And Johnny Bravo just classically says, who's that? Yeah, he's the guy, of course, who created this show in the first place, who co-created this show with William Hanna. Yeah, it's Joseph Barbera and William Hanna who created this enterprise, and a lot of stuff when it comes to the Hanna-Barbera enterprise, which on this show, admittingly, I'll say this, we haven't shown a whole lot. We showed Wacky Races on the Dreamcast. That's one case. We have other things we can do when it comes to that. And then fine, of other jokes as far as Scooby-Doo they've done. Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, the movie from 2001 with, what was it? It was from Kevin Smith, who made Clerks and Chasing Amy. The case where Jane Silent Bob are hitchhiking to Hollywood to stop a movie that's being made because people are shit-talking on the internet about it. Yeah, talk about predicting the future that way, or find the internet going on specifically, or as they say in the movie, it's a worldwide community where people can come around to bitch about movies and share pornography with one another. But then they run into Scooby and the gang, and they're saying like we're looking for a mystery of hitchhiking ghouls, and then Daphne's saying like, these aren't hitchhiking girls, it's ghouls, you fucking moron, not girls. But I wish they were girls, sexy hitchhiking girls. All right, fine. We have to follow the instructions on what this is. Take another look at the blueprint. I have everything you want, so I have to give it that way, and fine, we have the cannon, so fine. I also love that smile there. Right there, it's kind of perfect, getting the sense of, you know, hey, you know what's going on that way. So fine, what do we got to give him first? So what do you want first? Oh, right, I forgot. I have to put the trap together myself. Right, I don't give them to him. So basically, look at the trap plans and go do it myself. So So what we gotta do is we have to go and put the glue on the X. So actually, this is not gonna be hard at all. But let me take a Scooby snack so I can live. So you wanna start with this. Also, yeah, the clown's there, so like fine, he's just running around. He'll just walk around the area, so what you wanna do is jump on top of this, just wait. And you get the easy way to jump over him. Hit the glue there. Oh, no, don't hit the TNT, you know what I mean to do that. Stand here and hit that. Good, oh, whoa. Also, I had to stand in the glue, but then I get stuck off. He's there. He's trapped. I touch him, he doesn't do anything, so yeah, screw you, guy. So what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna throw the cannonball in. So yeah, I gotta put the trap together and kill this dude. So yeah, stand there and throw it, you can feasibly miss it. And then we're gonna use the gunpowder, which you also have to throw in. Basically stay on the edge of the top platform here and, oh fine, yeah, because fine, you can miss. Yeah, this sitting back is like, yeah, Shaggy, Scooby, you deal with this. Like, fine, fair enough. So I guess from the purpose of a player, you can be, like, making them braver. All right, now at this point, fine, we're gonna kill this guy, so let's strike the match, boom. Okay, it doesn't kill him, it just hits him, fine. If you got hit by a cannonball like that, you'd be dead. And then I guess we took time, fine, we could've just went over and tied him up already. We stuck him with the glue, so it wasn't going anywhere. So yeah, he can't clown, or the cunning clown can't con the carnival anymore. And he'll get his reputation back and feasibly customers. All right, but who is behind this mask this time? Okay, it is Mickey Mindang, Bubba's ex-janitor. So he loves the fair, it's in my blood, but my family tradition was wiped out when my grandfather died trying to save his job. So I'm gonna have you help with the hauntings, and we plan to close this place and then buy it back at a reduced price. And it would have worked if one of you meddling kids or crazy kids this time. Okay, there you go. That is the second mystery. The evil clown there of Mickey Mindang. He's named after the artist, animator, and art director and co-designer of this game, Jade Mindang, whose other credits include character design on Marco for the Sega CD and the Sega Genesis. It's a game kind of like Soccer Kid. You're basically a soccer-loving kid who's walking around. It's like kind of a platforming game that way. He designed the game when he was over at Domark, which I believe is a European company, or was anyway. He did design an FX Fighter of Argonauts for the PC. He's art director on Stolen for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC, which is a stealth game from 2005. And he also was the art director on Fluidity, which is a game on the Wii that was on the WiiWare. So you can't download anymore. It's gone for good. There's not been a new version of it. I think I might have downloaded a demo of this on Wii, I think. I'll let it down here if I'm wrong, but I believe when we showed off some of the stuff on the Wii, I showed that that's on my options for downloadable games. Just that, what is this thing? And there's a free demo before they shut the store down. We've usually show that demo, but maybe we can get a re-release of that specifically. But yeah, that is the case of who the clown's supposed to be. And here's our password. So yeah, we're done with the fair, the fun fair, thank God. And now we're going fishing. Going to the lake, and of course Shaggy loves fried fish with French fries, so he's a fish and chips fan, I would think. But the fog is pretty heavy. But yeah, Daphne's saying, yeah, drive carefully, we don't have an accident. Good news is Freddy is pretty good with not having accidents. I don't know when he's had an accident specifically on the case. Yeah, he may be only 18, but he's a great driver, which usually doesn't happen when you're 18. Just for the purpose of that, but all right, fine, we're going to the swamp. It is actually one of the longer cases about things. But yeah, it's not a lake, it's a swamp. Like, how do we not know that? But, uh-oh, Zoinks, a monster. Yeah, where is it? It's right behind us, so fine, over here. So yeah, there you go. Zoinks, it's a black oily thing. But yeah, we're in a van. We feasibly could run him over, but like, fine, we're not thinking that way. That'll probably be Velma's case as far as the show, I should say, not Velma the character. But we're driving off. But yeah, what's going on here? That seems weird. There's also only mysteries in the game. We get an intro that's kind of giving a case of backstory of like characters aside from us just going somewhere. And by the way, it will advance to this, so I have the controller down, basically not doing anything yet. Yeah, look, there's an old man over there. Maybe he knows what's going on. All right, so we don't have an old gas station, but as horror logic dictates, we're gonna stop and we're gonna ask the old man what he knows. Okay, he's packing heat specifically. Here he is. This is Grumper. He's warning us about Dean Drabwell. If Dean Drabwell finds you, you're gonna be in for it. Who's that? And can we borrow your gun, maybe? Maybe that can help. Fine, they don't use guns that way, as far as the Mystery Inc. He owns most of the land around here, but not this piece. I'm gonna stay here till Dad die. There's a monster back there. You ever see that? Yeah, I've seen many strange things in the swamp over the years, so get off my lawn or my land specifically. So yeah, did you see that? I said, he's not gonna tell us. He's like, yeah, fine. We gotta leave. We know we're not wanted. But we are going to the ranch of Dean Drabwell. So there we go, with it on the hill, but in this case it's sort of a ranch, but this is more about a spooky swamp as far as where we're at. Now back to the music we had on the first world, and this is also the music we hear the rest of the game, by the way. Oh, so what's going on with Dean Drabwell? Why does he want to feasibly do stuff with this place? Yeah, who'd want this place? It's really creepy. Yeah, creepy. All right, so we gotta look around. So yeah, maybe the general store has some food. So yeah, first thing on the minds, let's go get some food. Yeah, rude. It's like, okay, let's go get some of that. Oh, but there's a tar monster. Whoa, look at that with the eyes. Okay, yeah, you do need to sniff here because there's boots. We do need to go on. So here's the general store. As far as this area, you can jump on the steps if you run enough. Oh, I think you can. Usually if you need to make a jump, and you definitely need to do that in this case, run and jump. The general store's abandoned. That's strange. I mean, it doesn't look that way as far as being strange, because look at it. There's broken windows everywhere. There's a barred thing over that, and you can't go in, by the way. Just hit up in that, it does nothing. So what you want to do is you want to go on the roofs. There's actually a lot of cases we have to go on the roof. Some more cases of fall damage going on in this game. Whoa, shit. Unless you hit on the side of that, so feasibly that's one way if you're going to be hitting fall damage. Actually, yeah, that's feasibly the way to avoid fall damage entirely. Actually, I'm going to try this on my way down. Because, just to give you a sense, I'm sniffing out over here. Shaggy was right, there is some food here. A Scooby snack. Okay, fine. Running off and jumping there. Okay, so that... Okay, I was going to say I can avoid fall damage. No, you can't. Because I hit to the side, but I still hit the ground and get myself hurt. But either way. Let's take this. Maybe some of this garbage will come in handy. And maybe the Scooby snack will come in handy. And yeah, there you go. It does not recover as much of the Predameter off or reduce it down. Yeah, it's one of those weird games you have to have your health bar empty the entire time. You get it filled up, then you lose a life. All right, so there's a wanted poster. Maybe somebody is wanted as far as dead or alive. Goes to one of the scenes in Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, which is actually a hilarious scene where you have Freddy going against the Black Knight, who's to come back to life, to the tune of that Bon Jovi song, and also like driving a motorcycle with a lead pipe, which is hilarious. At the time, I mentioned before when we played the last part of Pokemon Violet, as far as the story stuff with Ed, Wack, and Nikki, I mentioned how much I love the movie adaptation. I said, yeah, the perspective of the screenplay that Donald Kaufman wants to make as far as that one, saying, hey, you know, I want a chase scene from my movie, which basically is the script I'm writing, which is going to be the killer gets away on horseback and then they're chasing him in a car, so it's like technology versus horse. And that movie was like us getting towards that for the first time around, and then John Wick 3 came out, and then they actually did that. Like, oh my god, it's amazing. And John Wick 3 is just amazing anyway. But all right, here are boots. Yuck, they're covered in tar. Yeah, because we ran into a guy right there, so they're right in the start where he appeared. Where it's coming from. That guy we saw probably, so there's a clue. And by the way, she will not give you mystery updates in this mission, and only this one. Don't know why, so there's a little bit of inconsistency going on in this game with certain things. But it is the third mystery, so fine. At this point, they're assuming you know what you're doing as far as how we played it. Which is true. At least I do, as far as what I've done, but fine. Not that this is a very hard game, just that I guess as far as the difficulty of this game, it's more just making sure you find everything. It's not so much anything about being... Okay, fine, that's not true. There's one part in this area that is actually really hard, and thank God I improved the brightness here, otherwise you wouldn't see a thing. And I'll show that in a bit, because we're going to get there very soon. But in the meantime, just enjoying the atmosphere. Ow! Again, fine. It doesn't matter as far as me hitting in the way. Alright, so here's a hotel that's also set... Fine, they say there's vacancies, that's bullshit. Fine, actually no, that's not bullshit, that's true. There are vacancies because nobody is here. We have a van, we're gonna sleep in the van. If we have to do sleeping in the van, we're gonna do that. So we're gonna get the fan over here. Fine, there you go, we get our air conditioning for our hotel room in the van. Or fine, it's the mystery machine. It's not the van, it's the mystery machine. That's what it's called, specifically. Okay, hi Freddy. There's an opening we have to blow leaves away. Leaves. Yeah, you're right. We can't walk past the leaves. Don't know why, but fine, we're not gonna walk past them. So in order to get past, we do need to have the generator again. Oh, there's like a zombie guy going, whoa. And he only appears in this episode, but yeah, if you run across away from him and jump, I should say, I guess across and then run away from him and then jump, you'll be fine. Yeah, we have some way to blow him over there. Yeah, I need some power. Oh, right, map. Fine, here's where the map is. This is actually gonna be a hard map to read, I'm not gonna lie. That being said, I'm kind of not really using the map as far as that. Also, weird thing. If you walk around and hit the elbow and hear that thing, but also, as the screen kind of went weird there, I don't know what that was about. It'll not do the sound when you go on the map. Weird inconsistency, but not bad. Just weird, that's all. Okay, fine, he needs the generator, so here's the generator. We use the power of the fan, so let's get rid of these leaves. Okay, no problem. There, they blow. So there's the Mode 7 fans, they're gone, and if we want to use it again, we need some gas. Okay. That's a clue in of itself, so thank you, Freddy. I was gonna call him Fred. It's like, no, he is Fred, but it's like, you know, Freddy. Yeah, Fred Jones. We do sniff by the gas tank here, you have gas. So it does kind of make sense where you have to sniff in this one. So there's something to be said about that. As you do the tires, we need to use these to bounce up. And we do need to get another set of tires that's right on top of the gas station right here. In this case, also to avoid fall damage, this piece is going to wait till it gets down and just walk off. Okay. Oh, whoa. Okay, fine. I couldn't avoid that one again, and I think in some cases they intend that. Yeah, laugh it up. Oh, yeah, we need another Scooby snack. There's not much else we really have to go on this one. I can see way up ahead over through this, but I can't jump high enough to reach the lowest branch. We can. But you do need to get the tires in order to make the jump. Fine, I'll get the soil sample. Actually, before we do that, let's give Velma the... Oh. All right, if you run too fast sometimes into the door to a room, you sometimes will get yourself knocked down. All right, Velma, can you tell us about this? It's a geological soil sample kit. We can analyze soil with this. Someone must be interested in this land. Well, fine, they told us, or fine, Freddy said somebody's interested in this land. So fine, we kind of already know. Yeah, keep looking around carefully, no problem. Okay, so going through here, and I'm gonna explain this because there's some interesting stuff here, well, sort of weird stuff. Okay, stand right at the edge, that's the bottomless pit. Fall down there, you die. Put that there, and then you have the ability to bounce on these. Just hold the B button to make yourself bounce as high as you can, then go to the right on the branch. Okay. So these platforms, you can see the tree back there, it's worth pointing out, and also the branches. When I did my practice on this a week or so ago, I couldn't see any of this at all. I could barely see anything as far as this. It looked so dark, and I even looked as far as the footage. I said, I'm gonna brighten this up. And I had to go through brightening stuff on OBS in order to even make this visible. It actually looks better for you than it does for me, because there's certain details that you can't completely see, or I can't completely see, even with my brightness put up pretty much full blast on my end to it. And it's this area, especially because right here we got this one platform, like the nest there. The one's moving up and down. You jump on this one, it'll shake and it'll fall down, and if you fall down, you die. But also there are those spiked logs there. Touch that, then it's instant kill. Do not touch that. So run off or walk off. When it shakes, jump there and jump there. So yeah, this is where they're asking you stuff for platforming pretty significantly. Especially at the end of this, you have to wait. Then jump there, so you don't jump on that log. If you jump on that, you die. And also, when you walk down here, you can also feasibly die. So jump over here. Yeah, if it's right there, because yeah, you can feasibly accidentally walk off that and die. So yeah, touch that's a one-hit kill. So this game is not screwing around anymore, and then go this way. Also, we'll point out one thing. Fine, I'm throwing like a trash can, or fine, like a used soda can or something at the pumpkin. So yeah, definitely knowing we're in Halloween territory now. Yeah, you're also seeing the footprints there of, yeah, it looks like the tar monster's footprints. I actually can't see it as well as you are on my view on the TV as I get the lamp. Also to point out, hit down to go down here. But here's the thing. This level branches out, so you feasibly can go this way or you can go the other way. If you go down this way, actually, there are items that you find. They will not appear until you go to the right here, so don't do that. So it's feasibly that case. If you don't get them in the right order the game wants you to, you can't progress. And actually I had that happen on the test play, so I said, oh, wait a second, I don't want to have that happen again. Whoa, there's the zombie again, whoa. Yeah, he got us. Yeah, we okay. Let's just go to the end of the area on the right, and then we go downwards the other way. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, what's going on? Okay, just a Scooby snack, which is fine, because fine. You do want to hold your Scooby snacks specifically for it, and I guess get a sense of where Daphne is. Because I think I should be set to get one soon enough. I'll do up and down on the D-pad in order to move the map around to find where everybody is. Now, where the hell is Daphne? And you do unlock parts of that map as you go along, just to indicate that. All right, there you go. There's an item. Yeah, can you give me something? I think I saw something around here. So at least she'll give you a hint saying, hey, there's something here. Use it. Or fine, sniff around. So there's that Scooby snack. And it looks like the tar monster we have here. So what's this? It looks like a mask, like an ape mask. So what is this? Yeah, it's a cinder mask that looks like the tar monster. They don't need masks to be scary. Well, I don't know if I agree with that necessarily, but for the purpose of doing stuff with this, yeah, I guess so. But fine, I guess that's the idea. I guess Velma just takes things literally in the sense of saying, hey, you know, I'll assume the ghosts are real, so fine, I'll say, like, logically speaking, would they necessarily do that? Fine, she's the one about the logic. That's the idea. She's the brains of the operation that way, in terms of that, as far as understanding the clues and putting everything together. Freddy is, fine, the jokes sometimes come to the perspective that Freddy is not doing much, but then he does come up with the plan of the trap. He does drive the mystery machine, and Daphne is the one who provides Scooby snacks and gives, you know, Scooby and Shaggy, you know, the push that they need, saying like, hey, you know, I'll do it. And to be fair, she does have a little more agency in this game in the last mission, which we'll see in a little bit. And also other aspects as far as how the series goes. Also, if you did miss anything, by the way, as far as going back here, jump on this. They'll start moving left and right. It'll reset off when you leave. Just make sure you trigger it only if you need to go back. If you do need to come back from there, you still have to go the other way. Now, as far as that, there's a beehive. When it goes there, it'll come towards you. It will fill up your Frido meter if they touch you. But what I do need to do is I do need to go back there, especially now since it went the way I needed to. Yes, sniff right there underneath the beehive. You jump over the bees too. You get another pair of boots. So yeah, we have 2 pairs of boots. Why do we have 2 pairs of boots? Good question. Velma, can you tell us maybe what this is about? Yeah, they're covered in tar too. So fine, it's another case of it. So like, wait a second, there's 2 of them. So it's the same clue we found before, but fine, she's not saying this, but I'll say it. Why are there 2 boots? Okay, also for this area, you do have to go to the basement, I believe. Yeah, you do. You have to press up on the ladder there. Fine, I'm also gonna kill the pumpkin or try to with the stick. Yeah, also as I mentioned, if you come here, these items here will not be here. So yeah, you have to go the order the game wants you to. So if you don't get that mask first, come here, there's nothing here. What is this, Velma? Can you tell us? It's a geological map. So it goes with the soil sample we found, which shows detailed exploration of the area, but why are they searching it? Yeah, why are they searching it? Why are they trying to do a dig here? And what's going on? Well, we'll find out a little later. And what's this? Yeah, this doesn't appear either. Yeah, give us a Scooby snack. We're due one. Basically, you want Scooby snacks, come to her after you've gotten a clue. There's a lot of clues in close succession with each other. Yeah, do that. Also, if you do want to leave that room, you have to a specific area and hit down to it, otherwise you won't leave. So just keep walking around and doing that. It's a boiler suit and it's dirty. And it's covered in tar, so whoever wore it must have been up to their necks in tar, but feasibly if they're working the boiler room, maybe that fit. Then again, as far as boiler rooms are concerned, I don't know if it's tar thing, so much maybe it's like, I don't know, charcoal. Think in the movie Spirited Away, when Kamaji, the man with multiple arms, is working the area, like doing stuff as far as the soot monsters, bringing them to life to move the coal into the fire so that then they can keep the place or the bathhouse running. Also, this one you got to jump specifically because you fall in that water, it's death. So you have to make that running jump, jump on the tire, and then bounce over, and you'll be fine. I have to make that jump coming back, so it's gonna be a little weird. Also, I'm gonna get that oil. Also, actually, before I go there, I'm gonna go in the house. All right, so there looks like tar. So the area, and yeah, you're seeing here also, it's worth pointing out, yeah, they weren't lying when they say about the lantern oil making it harder to see. Yeah, the vignette effect in here is actually way smaller. So actually, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna get this again. I'll get the oil, or the lamp oil. So come back in here, and what it does is, it's it's definitely a wider view. So you can see more in here, and it is worth pointing out the lantern oil can run out, and you can feasibly be stuck in the dark, but you do have to wait a while to do that. So as long as you don't dawdle, you won't run into cases of that happening. Oh wait, right, I gotta show her the tar here. I think that's what it is, that's what it looks like. Okay, it's filled with tar, which I guess could be a good disguise. If you paint yourself in it, yuck. Also, yeah, it's probably not healthy to cover yourself in tar. You're probably going to inhale those fumes and die. It's also one of those paradoxical things where I know some people find, I'm kind of like this. I don't mind the smell of gasoline. It's like, yeah, that shit's deadly if you're, get it in this part of your body or something. But yeah, it smells okay. Fine, tar is also that case. It doesn't necessarily smell that bad to me. It's also like, fine, depends on when it is. But like, yeah, that's not healthy. So don't let that happen to you as far as doing anything with that. Or fine, it could be like the story that they said about The Wizard of Oz, where, yeah, for the snow scene, they covered everybody in asbestos. I was watching the Mr. Sunday Movies episode of Caravan of Garbage this week, the winner of that. Or fine, from last week, because they've been going through the Wizard of Oz stuff, because the movie based on Wicked's coming out. So they're going through, they went through the Wizard of Oz, they went through Return to Oz from the 80s, and they have next week Oz the Great and Powerful, which is the Disney one, which actually I never saw that. It had James Franco from Spider-Man, and also from the Disaster Artist, the movie about the making of The Room. Oh shit, you! Yeah, just keep popping up, so yeah, just jump over. But what about this box? What's this? Oh, it's a geological report. It's commissioned by Drabwell himself, but it's on Grumper's land. So wait, he's got to be the one behind this. So in this case, the intro made more sense and said, like, fine, you know what? Drabwell is trying to get Grabber, or getting him away that way. So I know what we got to do now. So for this, what we got to do is go over here and talk to Freddy. Actually, this mission's taking way less time. Gotta catch this crook and I have a plan. Okay. What do we got this time? So last time we glued a guy to the ground and hit him with a cannonball. This time, we already have everything we need. We have the generator, we have the gasoline that goes into it, and we have the fan already that's going to dry the monster out. So basically the thought that, hey, if we blow the fan on him hard enough, because the tar is feasibly not something that's going to be going on, we can either take it off him, or we can feasibly, tar and feather him. That's the idea of it. But feasibly, how's that going to stop him? But we'll see. So go to the end of the plank bridge, and we'll meet you there. So yeah, we do need to go that. They also do not have to make the jump. They're just going to transport over there. So they feasibly found the secret way through the forest, and or find the swamp, and Scooby and Shaggy need to do it the hard way. And thankfully that bounce will not get a case where you're going to have fall damage. Thank God. That would be pretty mean if that happened. Actually, before I do that, I want to check something. Because I don't think this is making a factor. I don't think you can go up that ladder, even though it looks like you can. Yeah, you can't. I just wanted to see if that was the case, but yeah, no. All right, so back to that we go, and we'll have this mystery solved. Okay, so go to the left, and then go upwards and to the right. Okay, so yeah, just have the Scooby snack. None of it matters. I'll just jump over the pumpkin, and we'll be set. Like, hey, everybody. He's like, yeah, how'd you guys get back so fast? We need a fan to dry the tar monster out. Okay, so we're gonna dry him out, so I was right. Fine, it says right there we gotta do it, so we'll do that. And again, give him what you need in order, what he needs in order. So there you go. Groovy. We need a generator to power it. But remember, since we used it before to get the leaves away, we need some gasoline. Yeah, if you missed it, you have to go back and find it, but in that case, I did it, so we're set. So once again, we gotta lure the ghost here. We're not even saying, you know, no, we're not gonna do this. We're just gonna say, screw it, we'll do it. I guess Shaggy and Scooby are used to this right by now. Okay, come down here and whoa! Go this way and leave, but usually when you come up here, you're gonna take damage anyway, but yeah, like that. So there you go, there's the fan, they're just standing there. Yeah, and then suddenly got tied up. Don't ask me why, but there you go, we were done with the third mystery. Actually, that was way faster. All right, so who's behind this? Fine, they sort of told us who it is, but let's have a confirmation. It's Dean Drabwell. Look a bit like Lupin the Third a little bit, but it's actually named after somebody else. Yeah, Grumper's land is worth a fortune, and he's just gonna waste it by not leaving, so I'm not gonna waste it. I was gonna plot to scare him away, so sell it to me as the tar monster, and then I can make money. Yes, so there you go, as far as how he looked. I have a picture of Lupin the Third as well. My wife, Nina, dressed up as a zombie, and nearly has a signature too on those papers, but then you start poking your noses in this. Worth pointing out this, that's kind of a autobiographical case a little bit, fine, except the crime deal. Because Dean Drabwell in this game is named after Darren Drabwell, who, as mentioned at the beginning of the show, produced and co-designed this game, and his wife also was involved in this game, his real-life wife, that being Nina Simone Drabwell. In her case, she was, she did artwork and animation on this game. She did artwork on Crocodile the Gobos that we've been playing, as well as also artwork on Freestyle Street Soccer for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC. Also artwork on Kingsley's Adventure on the PlayStation, which I actually never heard of what this was. It was a game by Psygnosis, and since Psygnosis is also out of the UK, I believe they're in Liverpool. Oh, fine, the remnants of them, which is Sony Liverpool, they're out of the UK as well, like Argonaut is. And also she did art management and character models on the UEFA Champions League season games on the PlayStation and the PC, specifically the 1999, 2000, 2000, 2001, and 2001, 2002 editions of that. Yeah, I just want to make sure there's anything else I'm missing. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, the thought is like they're tying in the perspective of the development team on this as far as the monsters we're fighting or finding, and the culprits at the end of the case. But we do have only one case as far as this left, so in that case, I think we got ourselves going. At this point, we're probably gonna be like 2.5 hours. This is not gonna be long. I'm not gonna elongate this that much. But yeah, you know, we're starving. So yeah, after what we've gone through, Shaggy wants to eat. Fine, Shaggy hungry, Shaggy won't eat, and so does Scooby. So we're gonna go to Bradshaw Manor. Now, what's the idea of Bradshaw Manor? Well, this is where Daphne's coming in. Yeah, Shaggy and Scooby just want to eat, so that's fine. Fair enough is their case. But in this case, Daphne's this place has been abandoned, so there's not going to be anything in here. And how would Daphne know? Well, because this is her uncle's place, her aunt's place, Aunt Mabel. So she's the one who's like, hey, something's going on here, and I heard something as far as what this is, so that's where we're going. She said it looked like really spooky. Yeah, it did. Fine, you're seeing the flashing lightning there. It's not gonna be bad enough for a flashlight warning, I don't think, just to go into that. So, Daphne knows what's going on. She got a call from her Aunt Mabel saying, yo, what's going on here? Well, she'll tell us. Because basically, this last mystery of the game, Daphne said, I'm taking aspects on my mystery here, so like we're gonna solve it this way on my case. My Aunt Mabel works here. This manor was owned by a ghostly count. J.D. Morgan's the owner of the place. He went insane. His business nearly went broke, blaming it all on Count Bagosi. I guess take on Bill Bagosi. Yeah, Shaggy's saying, screw this, so we're gonna leave. But she said, no, I told my aunt we're gonna solve this mystery, and that's what we're gonna do. You're not scared, are you? It's like, fine, we've been very effective in 2 hours of doing mystery solving. Yeah, the first sign of this Count Spaghetti, and I'm going home. It's Count Bagosi, dummy. But of course, she just has Italian food on the mind, fair enough. It's like, right, we're Italian. But yeah, he's not wrong saying, hey, you know, there's somebody here. So here is Count Bagosi. He's cursed this place. And it'll curse us if we don't leave. Shaggy's saying, yeah, he's got a good idea. Let's leave. He heard the man leave. Like, no, not until we solve this, because, yeah, family's involved in this one. Okay, so this is the last mystery of the game. It's worth pointing out also... the name of the manor, I can say this specifically, is named after the product tester, designer, and scripter of this game, or one of the designers and scripters, and one of the product testers on this game. That is Lindsay Bradshaw. As far as her other background of the stuff, she did level design on Croc Legends of the Gobos, so I guess that's one of the people that Nocturne has to thank about some of the level designs. Like, fine, if you don't like the mini games as far as Croc, as she clearly didn't, and doesn't, she's like, yeah, you can thank Lindsay Bradshaw amongst other people as far as designing it that way. She also designed on Crime Life Gang Wars, which is on the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC, which is a notorious, crime beat-em-up game. Kind of heavily inspired by Grand Theft Auto San Andreas a little bit. I've heard nothing but bad things about it. She also is the lead designer on Bionicle, the game based on the Lego series from the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. And she's one of the designers on Aladdin and Ashir's Revenge for the PlayStation, and was also on the PC as well. All right, so yeah, you help Velma look around. I'm gonna go off and do something myself. And if you have anything suspicious, bring it to me. That door's locked with a period, so we just gotta keep looking around. Okay, so we're at the Spooky Manor. All right, so yeah, seeing that shake up there, that's a chandelier, run out of the way to let it drop. Because in the middle of it is an item, or find off on the side. There's a, what are these? Look like a stack of papers. You're finding tons of papers here. You also bounce on the perspective. Yeah, I'm not gonna bounce too high unless I get myself hurt. Fine, he should be getting hurt by that. But it's like, no, we're fine. Okay, fair enough. Again, also, because of the way I set the brightness on this game, you're seeing way more of it than I am, but it's also something that is at least visible in my case. Okay, we're gonna go in here. As a wooden peg, I don't think we need it. Be careful, that rat looks really dangerous. She's not kidding. It's the same rat we saw at the beginning of the game. One touch of that, you die. I'm not touching it. But like before, there's gonna be a way to get past it, so we'll do that later. So, Velma, where are you? Fine, let's also show what the map looks like here. Fine, this one they label the rooms. It's like the lounge, the study, the hall, and the gallery. I guess it considers a preview. I guess we can do stuff with Resident Evil, which I'll see if we can do something Resident Evil, I guess, next year. Feasibly. We'll get to another Code Recollection at some point, because that's the case we're going to be going through a house and other places. But fine. It's in the hall and the gallery. That's where Velma is. Fine, it doesn't look like she's here, but she is here. She didn't leave. This blank paper, it's pretty high quality. Okay. But this is used for banknotes. And she's giving mystery updates again after having not given us on the last mission. So using a lot of banknote paper. Okay. Well, but the lights are going out again. You'll never catch me. And he will unlock the door. Okay. Can we just go have a sandwich instead? Where? Sandwich? Yeah, how else are you gonna solve this mystery if you don't follow him? Good point. Yeah, give me another Scooby snack. That's how. Actually, weird enough, I think the... Okay, I just realized this. The amount of the fritometer that gets recovered, I think it's more on this than the last mission. So yeah, sometimes the rules of the game change on missions, and I don't know why. You'd think it would recover like next to nothing with this being the last thing of it. Have you found anything? I found this. They're moldy melons. Okay, so we can toss them at enemies. Okay. Also, if you do get hit by that, you get hurt. It's not a one to kill, though. But we have our minigame actually really early. And they always give you the one with the sandwich first. So yeah, more sandwich making, see if it catch as much as we can. Yeah, fine, I got the rustiness on the first mission out, but at least I got to show what that looked like dropping everything. Fine. It's basically a balancing act, pretty much. And, Dolphin, you're right. It is something funny to see, and also gives that perspective of this, which is that, fine, the thought that, hey, you know, when it comes to a game based on license, we've talked about this before, how will a game designer or game company capture a feeling of an enterprise, and also the case that, how much is this going to be, like, spice for the game? Maybe the game isn't that great, say. This one, feasibly, I don't know if I'd say this is a great game, but I would say that there is a style to this, and because of Argonaut, maybe Argonaut as a company themselves, it's too small though, but I got a snack bonus. So yeah, fine. I didn't have as much time to grab on that. I think he is feasibly limited on when he tosses out on top of that. But just Argonaut as a company is sometimes really interesting, even with stuff that you would think like, well, it's not the best game you ever play, seeing what are they going to do with it. Hence why I think we're all excited. Fine, Nocturne and I are excited, and I guess people are excited as far as the return of them with the HD version of Croc coming out next year. So what can they do from here? Even stuff, as I mentioned, I played games of theirs for years. Stuff that's kind of weird, but stuff that it's always an interest when you play something of theirs. Fine, feasibly, I like X to come back, or come out in the US, because it never came out here. But here's Printing Dye, which is green, but it's the color money, so wait a minute, it seems like they're doing a counterfeit money operation here. Somebody's doing a lot of printing. All right, so find a counterfeit money operation coming out of this place. At least feasibly. But yeah, stuff of theirs that's been kind of an interesting case of that as far as Argonaut. Even stuff like Carve, which I was on Xbox. I don't own this, but it was a game they shipped for $20, which was a jet ski racing game. It's not Splashdown, it's not Wave Race Blue Storm or Wave Race 64. But there's some interesting stuff that game is doing. And for saying like, hey, we're gonna ship this at $20, it is kind of interesting seeing some of the stuff they do and how they kind of went around genres. And hey, who knows on what goes on with Croc, saying, hey, you know, they'll do other stuff is coming back after that game comes out, or the new one anyway. You're all cursed. All right, he went upstairs. Quick, let's go after him. Yeah, fair enough, let's go up. And even with Scooby-Doo Mystery here, it is interesting some of the stuff they're doing. I do get the sense this is an Argonaut game that honestly, when I played this at the time, I didn't have any frame references coming. In fact, this is the first game of theirs I played. I didn't play Star Fox until later. I didn't play Croc until way later. For the stuff they've made, actually, I think the stuff I played of theirs, I played Carve, I played the Star Fox games, both of those, this, Croc, and I haven't played Croc 2 yet. So maybe the frame reference isn't that huge with them, but I'm always interested, I guess, because of some of the stuff they did with this game, and with Croc, definitely, and with Star Fox, more than anything, I think. I definitely want to see what they do. And fine, X. Fine, that's going to be the other thing. Is like, yeah, I'll say this specifically, since we did get the announcement last week. Actually, it was this week we got this. The Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack stuff is coming out next week on October 11th, so next Friday. They're releasing more of F-Zero. They're putting up F-Zero GP Legend, which came out in the US, based on the F-Zero anime that was on 4Kids. But they're also releasing for the first time in this country F-Zero Climax. We mentioned this when we played F-Zero X, saying, hey, you know, this is this one F-Zero game that's like $150 that never came out here. They're bringing it over. Finally, after all this time, they're saying, hey, you know what? We're gonna release this and put it over here. So maybe we can get X next. Because from what I've understood, I've seen of X, I've heard nothing but great things on X. Basically saying it's Star Fox on the Game Boy. Like, how the hell can the Game Boy do this? But looking at what that game's doing, technologically speaking, it's pretty impressive. Fine, even Days of Thunder on the Game Boy, you're like, hey, it's based on the movie from the 1990s. It's like, yeah, what's that about? But it had a really great engine to itself as far as how smooth it went, and even race driving. We showed hard driving on the show before, and fine, we'll show race driving when we do Midway Acre Treasures 3. But saying, hey, you know, we got a version of this on Game Boy. Our engine makes this run better than it does on Super Nintendo, or on Super Nintendo runs horrifically. But on Game Boy, it's like, it's smooth of this 3D polygonal racing game. The one we saw and we were laughing our asses off when we played it. Just showing that off. Or fine, like we said, specifically, I wouldn't touch this game with a 10-foot pole, but it's like, fine, I want to show people this game because it's hilarious. But they made a pretty good version of it as far as on Game Boy, showing what they got going on, like their engine stuff, and their tech stuff, and their design. Even this game, thinking like, hey, you know, what are we doing with Scooby-Doo? How do we turn this into a platforming game that also has some mystery stuff, if not specifically like, hey, you know, we have to really think too much about where we're going and what we're really doing. Okay, so there we go. So I got all 3 items. You do sometimes get in a case, though, by the way, when you do that, that it will feasibly get a case where you will lose your speed of hit. Fine, didn't matter there. And also, it looks like it's repeating the pattern from before, and it is. But there's patterns later where they're gonna switch the order around. I'll see how far I can get with this. Except for the code I'm gonna briefly show off, which I'll also use for ending the show. Because I'll talk over this for the schedule. Shit, I forgot. Crap, sorry, Velma. Yeah, and I'm not gonna get to 75. Because every 25 whacks, you get extra time. All hitting the clocks. Okay, I did get a life, thank God. I do want that because I don't want to get a game over. In my practice, I did get a game over here, but it's fine. That's why I practiced. I just want to make sure I'm set for this. Fine, because I have played this game for years, but it's also something that it's been a while since I played it. As we have another searchable item that looks like a bat, or a fake bat. Found any clues? Yeah, I think this is a clue. Planks just aren't mysterious. Yeah, I guess not. Well, I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe it is. Where's Velma? Fine, I'll find Velma going around, or I'll just walk around, see. And here's Daphne. I was like, hey, have a Scooby snack, everybody. Okay, there's another item that looks like I don't know, like a bell or something. Fine, we'll find out what this is soon enough, because yeah, Velma will see everything that we got. But yeah, where is it? Okay, it's locked. And the one at the end of the room, I believe, is locked too. All right, there she is. Hi, Velma. I got two things I want to look at. A rubber bat on a string. Where I've seen it before. Oh, it was before Bugosi appeared. Okay, so basically putting out a decoy whenever he does the flight over, and it's this. And someone's still doing a lot of printing. She's on the printing thing. What about this thing? It's makeup. Okay, never mind. Fine, it's makeup. I need to have a face powder. Oh, does she? Yuck, it's stage paint. Okay. So the case could find it's a disguise. Doing great. So I found this key. So why do you need rubber bat and makeup? Okay, so in this case, she's combining clues as far as giving the mystery update. If I'm just saying, hey, she needs something as far as like on her face, fine, because even actually in those movies, she kind of goes into some aspect of femininity a little bit, which I find sometimes interesting, especially in the live action ones. Which I'll say this, I have my issues with that first one. Fine, the fact that they turned Scrappy-Doo, which I guess people hate, but I don't know if everybody necessarily hates him. Fine, feasibly he's annoying, but I don't know if the show even says he's annoying. And then he pisses on Daphne. Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. And then calls her a bitch at the end of the movie. It's like, what? That's weird. But that being said, I do like the way that movie's cast, because Matthew Lillard from SLC Punk as Shaggy. Scooby was not Don Messick. Yeah, he had passed away at the time. I don't remember if it was Scott Innes from Night of 100 Frights. I'll put a link or an indication below down who is voicing him in that movie. But it's Freddie Prinze Jr. as Freddy, which seemed like a weird case, but also the case that it's kind of interesting seeing him do that specifically. I mean, off of movies like She's All That and Head Over Heels. Oh no, yeah, Head Over Heels had just come out the year before that. And actually, I guess also from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, what's her name? Sarah Michelle Gellar. And their game's based on that. Actually, there's a really good one on Xbox. It's by the people who made Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. And also, the last name actually was Linda Cardellini, who was on Freaks and Geeks, the Judd Apatow program. And she's also in the movie The Curse of La Llorona a couple of years ago. I actually quite liked her take as far as what she did with, what was it? With Velma in those movies. But maybe I just like Linda Cardellini as well. And she was also in Green Book. I thought she was really, really good in that one. The movie that won Best Picture in 2018. So fine, maybe that case like, hey, they're cast well, they fit the characters, but it's also something that it does feel like, yeah, they're also doing something interesting with the performance, even the way that she kind of played it when that. And honestly, everybody. I was kind of curious, like, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar seems like maybe a cop-out case as far as a cast, but then you realize, actually, no, maybe not. And fine, capturing characters that we've seen interpreted many times before. Dolly Finn, you were saying that, specifically saying like, hey, even like how Velma was, fine. Velma now, as far as keeping Scooby-Doo around in a different direction with the Velma series, regardless of what you feel about it, and other stuff when it comes to how the cartoons are going. Because yeah, this series is still going strong, and she's in the attic. Okay, in this hall upstairs, she is here, so fine, Velma's in here. So Velma, where are you? Fine, it's Scooby-Doo, where are you? Oh, right, she's right here. Yeah, she's looking into the window like, hi. It's Vampire's Tux. Why doesn't he need a spare one? All right, I'll help you open the door. You help me push on it. Yeah, basically what you do is just walk right next to it and she'll help you open the door. Yeah, it's a timeless series. Yeah, good point. And fine, there's something to be said about this, because it is kind of a weird case. Saying, hey, you know, oh right, I forgot. There's the gold knight guy who comes to life. The fact that on the surface, like, it's a weird concept, saying, hey, you know, it's a bunch of teenagers and their dog solving mysteries, but it's also something that, for some reason, it clicked. And fine, that goes to, I guess, to a lot of things when it comes to Hanna-Barbera's getting some fake fangs. You think like some of these things like, hey, what is this idea of what it is? But then they kind of turn into something interesting. In fact, that fine, with Scooby-Doo, it kind of inspired this idea of a lot of different perspectives of Hanna-Barbera going into the mystery direction with stuff like with Josie and the Pussycats, like with a little bit Jabberjaw. If you're familiar with who Jabberjaw is, there's Count Bogossi. If you go in this door, he'll keep coming, so don't go in the door again. I find Speed Buggy kind of did that. Probably something like, do you remember these things? Like, yeah, fine. They used to be on the Cartoon Network all the time when it first started about 30 years ago. Actually, yeah, it was like 31 years ago, the start of the Cartoon Network, as we do need to get books, by the way, for where we're gonna go. But some of these weird things, even other stuff where, fine, other ones that feasibly not aged that great, like the Charlie Chan Mysteries. Fine, there's the serials as far as that, but also the animated series, which you're never seeing that again, based on the stereotyping in that one. Fine, a little breadcrumb when we play Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. But also, one I think that honestly is aged a little better than I think it's given credit for, Hong Kong Phooey, which was fine, because he's, actually it's kind of a take almost on, fine, here's False Teeth, by the way. So why do you have false teeth? But Hong Kong Phooey is like almost like a detective story with the case of kind of an Asian style of the case with its main characters, kind of almost like out of almost like a male take on like a Pam Grier, like a Foxy Brown-like character, in its weird way. And I remember Scoop, they basically were like, hey, we're burying Hong Kong Phooey that way. It's like, fine, age better than the Charlie Chan Mysteries, I'll say that for sure, specifically. But having said that, the case that when it came to some of the Hanna-Barbera stuff, some of these things that you feel like, what are these things gonna be? And the fact that they took off, and also the other thing is that they then took off when they came to cable and things. I know when Ted Turner started the Turner Broadcasting System, TBS, the Superstation, and stuff like that, they said, hey, it's been years, we were able to air these things for like little to no money for it, and people found it, and the Cartoon Network picked them up, and that's how I found where Scooby-Doo was. It was when this game came out, that was like the height of my knowing Scooby-Doo growing up, even though it came out in the 60s, so even in the 90s, I knew what it was, and it still kind of had that perspective at that time. And I even knew about all those other shows. Like, yeah, all these other things, fine. Stuff I love, like That's Really Muttley. I love that one in particular. And other ones of things like, it seems like they wouldn't work if you described them to somebody, but then you watch them and realize, yeah, some of them actually really, really do. I mean, hey, stuff like Yogi Bear, the case like, hey, he's looking for picnic baskets in Yellowstone Park, like just them kind of just doing random stuff. It's like, yeah, the Ranger's not gonna like this Yogi. I mean, fitting because, yeah, Don Messick voiced Boo Boo as far as the show. In fact, games based on them too. There's tons of games based on enterprises of Hanna-Barbera, so this is fine, our first full one as played, but other ones we can definitely show as we see a book. Oh yeah, hold on. Wait, I'm hitting R. Why is she not talking to me? What, Velma, we too good for you now? Fine, let's go back out. I don't know why she's not doing anything. I hit R button next to her and nothing happened. Okay, I guess not. Oh wait, no, hold on. Actually, maybe I can't show her that. Actually, I can't show her anything. Okay. I don't know if that's a glitch with the game or what. Fine, I do know where we have to go. We have to go around and find, we found one book, we gotta find 4 of them. Also gonna see, yeah, nothing in the closet to go in. But other stuff as far as other series, because fine, around the time we also had stuff like the Flintstones, which like, hey, you know, that seemed like a weird case, saying like, fine, they remade it's basically a remake of the Honeymooners. Fine, it's a rip-off of the Honeymooners. People said that. In fact, I remember on The Simpsons, there was the episode when Itchy and Scratchy were feasibly involved in a lawsuit because the guy who originally created them, who was voiced by Kirk Douglas in that episode, who guest starred, was saying like, I'm taking Roger Meyer's Jr. to court, who's voiced by the late Alex Rocco, as far as on the show, and his final argument saying like, wait, maybe my father did steal them, but so what? Animation was built on plagiarism. Because if we didn't have the Honeymooners, if somebody hadn't ripped off the Honeymooners, we wouldn't have the Flintstones. If somebody hadn't ripped off Sergeant Bilko, there'd be no Top Cat, another one I actually love. And of course, you have Huckleberry Hound. Chief Wiggum is a takeoff on Edward G. Robinson, which is true. That's the thought of what that was. It's like, hey, if you take away our ability to rip off things from people, where our original ideas are going to come from, specifically. But point is that, hey, these things that they became very influential, and they somehow, and I guess because of the syndication thing and appearing on stuff like Cartoon Network and things, found their audience years later and have hung around. And of course, got lots of game adaptations, some which go for tons of money. The Scooby-Doo games, as mentioned, most of those don't go for much. The only one that I think goes for the most is the Genesis version of this, especially if you're going for a complete copy. Not complete, it's like $50, which is way more than this, but still. Yeah, we have a villain to catch as far as this, but fine. This mouse is getting on my nerves. There you go, we're gonna feed him some cheese. He'll keep eating that cheese, he will not run out, so you'll be fine. We'll take the key to go into the library, which is the one area where actually you do not have fall damage here for some reason. I guess they didn't program it in. But yeah, when it comes to the other Hanna-Barbera games, some that really go for a lot of money. A lot of those Flintstones games. Shockingly, there's a lot that are really expensive. There's the one on the Sega Genesis that actually is like $80-something now. There is the Flintstones Surprise and Dinosaur Peak on the, it's on NES. It was a late release by Taito, and a lot of Taito stuff on NES for late era goes for a lot anyway, but it was also a rental-only game, so it's like $1,000. So yeah, that game costs a fortune, specifically. And fine, even because there were games based on the Jetsons, which was kind of taken off of the Flintstones, but in the future. And then Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, had a lot of fun with that, specifically saying like, okay, fine, now screw me then, when it's like, hey, you don't have fall damage here. Fine, on my test I didn't have fall damage when I fell off here in some places. Well, I should have to do something specific to make that happen, but either way. Yeah, because with the Jetsons, their games based on that, I played one of them, which is Invasion of the Planet Pirates, which is on the Super Nintendo. It's by Taito as well. It's another one that actually is like a precursor to Luigi's Mansion, weirdly enough. In fact, George Jetson has a vacuum gun and use that for platforming and sucking up items and shooting up at enemies. Or I guess like also a precursor to Blinks the Time Sweeper on Xbox. But there's also Cogswell's Caper, which is on NES. That's by Natsume, who developed that. And it's another one that goes for tons of money. So the case that, fine, they found the audience as far as stuff with, Hanna-Barbera Enterprises in terms of games, but also as far as just what they were. And hey, ideas between on paper, like, yeah, how are these gonna work? But then you see them and they kind of have something interesting to them as something unique that become, as you said, Dolly Finn, exactly that, timeless. As also I'm gonna stack the books. Because that's how you're supposed to get up here, because we gotta find one more. Also, by the way, I'm not fully on the level of the mouse, so in that case, he's not hurting me. Okay, so for that, I do need to do that because I need to jump up here and I need to go up here because I need that fourth book. It looks like you can't get the jump from here, but if you run and jump at the end, you can make it. Because we need 4 books to get to this next area, and oh my god, this is a case where I'm glad I have the brightness up on your end and on my end because I couldn't see a damn thing when I was in here when I did my practice. Ooh. Also, I don't know why I didn't have fall damage when I was doing my practice, unless... Fine, because what you have to do is you have to put the books up here. You have to stack up to 4. Jump up here, and there is this door, which you're seeing way easier than I am. You hit up on that to go in. You do need to go in here, and unfortunately, it's one of those dark areas. So fine, oil. There you go, burn the lamp. We need that. Thank God we have that. And on my practice, I missed this door, because you need to go in here. So yeah, if you're gonna buy this game, also make sure the brightness on your TV is loud enough or high enough so you can get that set. That's a barrel, it doesn't look suspicious. Oh fine, we have to come back for that. I'm thinking ahead. And there's also an area where there's water areas and you can fall in and die. Oh, okay, never mind, I can bounce on the water, get hurt, and not die. That'll work. Also, I'm close to the end, so I don't want to get a game. Fine, I have 2 lives. Oh, no, 3 lives, because 0 does count as a life in this game, by the way. So I think we should be able to get through. Okay, good. Right, because, yeah, this is a door, and I think I can also go over the other one. Okay, yeah, the gold bar. Because we definitely need that. Actually, yeah, okay, fine. There's the counterfeit operation. That's the printing press that they're using, I guess. As I go over here, you can make this jump over. But now I have, actually, I think use this to sort of go back. Whoa. It's not too hard to run stuff as far as like the jumps, just you have to make sure that you're online with it. Also, I'm gonna try and get through this as far as going the high road. You can go the other way, fine, as far as you get, or if you get far, or back far enough for this. I know what, I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna throw the melons from a distance because I don't trust, fine, I guess I have to now. Jump over the mouse. Oh no. Okay, I'm just on the edge of dying. And I need to find, I'm gonna need to find Daphne quick. I was like, yeah, I need health, and I guess fine. I'm not gonna test if I don't have fall damage for this again. I didn't know my test. I don't know if it's because I went through that area and fell down. Okay, there's no thing there. Actually, yeah, because the way the fall damage this game works, I don't want to take a risk, so I'm gonna. Shit. Oh. Okay, there we go. So never mind. Okay, so that's what happens. Okay, at least they gave me an answer, like, why is that? So when you come into the library here, you do not have fall, you do have fall damage when you go through this, but if you go in the other room, I guess when you come out of it, the game forgets that there's fall damage, so it doesn't actually program it in. So yeah, in that case, it saved me, otherwise I was gonna die. I was like, I thought I was dead for sure, but thankfully not. So, Velma, where are you? Are you still over that area? Because if you are, okay, fine, Daphne's here. Let's go find Daphne. I barely talked to her this time. Okay, wait, I have a Scooby snack already. I'm gonna use that. Yeah, give me another one. This, I believe, is the last one. And actually, in that case, we're gonna be done. I said, I told you this is not a long game. Hi, Velma. I see this $5 bill in gold. Know anything about it? Yeah, it's a printing plate. It'll it shows what the press is gonna print, and it's with $5 bills, so yeah, they are running a money operation. That's the last piece of the puzzle. Okay, so for this, find Freddy. He is right here. So here's the plan. We need to build it with these parts. This is the last part of it, and then we'll be done with the game. And done with the show feasibly. We're not gonna be long on this one. We need the peg, we need the barrel, so we have to go back and get that barrel we got, and he already has 1 barrel, so we're set that way. Okay, so for this, the plank is, I'll get the plank last. Because actually the 2 items are back where the library is, or 2 of the items are there, so we need... Oh, right, because there's the peg here. We need that. We need to get that barrel that I got specifically, so yeah, you do have to go back to where the item is. I knew I had to keep the books there. Fine, because you can move the books and put them down anywhere you want in order to jump up there. You do have to put them there somewhere so you can make the jump. Oh shit, no. Fine, I guess in this case, I'm basically just running my way. It's like, fine, we can get this done. As I said, this is gonna be 3 hours tops when I said. It's fine, when I get to schedule, it'll be about 3 hours, if that. At that point, this will be an easy edit this week. I'll be able to do this in 1 day, if that. So, oh shit, no! Oh yeah, thankfully you just bounce off the water. Yeah, fine, we don't like water. We don't like getting wet. All right, so there's the barrel. I'll use the lamp oil. Not that I need it now, but just to at least see my way back. Fine, now that I know this, yeah, coming out of that, you don't have fall damage, so just run off and you're fine. Also, let me see something. Can I get another Scooby snack? Actually, I should be able to, because I didn't give, I talked to her before I gave Velma the printing plate. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because for the last approach, I want to make sure I have this. Now, for the Scooby snack, oh, not the Scooby snack, the plank, it was, right, it was over this way. I think it was in here. Yeah, it was, perfect. Okay, so we have everything we need. We can build the trap, and we set. And that's the end of the game. The only other thing I'll show off is I will show off 2 of the passwords because I'll use one of them to have music to talk over. Because I want to have that nice funhouse music or the minigame music. Because actually, that is one of my favorite pieces of music in this game. Even though there's only about 5 pieces of music in this game. Hi. I got one more. I got barrels, so one more. Perfect. So I gotta give him the barrel first. So in the order he wants the barrel. That looks heavy, so I'll give you a hand. The pin is, or the peg is a small vital object, and then the plank. Thanks for getting that. Great work, guys. Let's have the trap. Go find the vampire. Okay. I believe he's just down the hall. Or fine. If he's not, no, he's not down the hall. He's down this hall. I got you now. Run while you can. Oh shit, yeah, because he takes tons of damage off. It's a good thing I got that Scooby snack, otherwise I was getting myself in trouble. All right, hold on. Come on, Shaggy. Run, Scoob. I'm running, Raggy. Hit the lights again. Boom, we got him. Great work, got him. All right, so there you go. That is the end of the game. So yeah, 2.5 hours, even with the trouble I had on the Bing Bong brothers. All right, so who is Count Bugosi? It's J.D. Morgan, who is named after the artwork and co-designer Andrew Morgan in this game. Yeah, me and my business partner was involved in this. Our company's doomed. We didn't find that money from somewhere. Yeah, by the way, it's worth pointing out, Argonaut was not in financial trouble at this point, so it's not a biography, I guess, of them. Yeah, so we're going to use that to get money, and we got away if you crazy kids hadn't gotten involved. Yeah, but Andrew Morgan, we're pointing out, the only other credit he has, as we're going to finally get our meal in this place, was Hind, which is on the PC, which came out in 1996, which is the Russian combat helicopter simulator, as it was indicated. We got Scooby-Doo. A short game, you're great with impressions, or impersonations. Thank you. Fine. It's one of those cases, sometimes it kind of comes with it, and we've had cases of people on the show who will sometimes do that way. But yeah, it is short, but fine. It's short, but it does have some nice stuff, and it gives you password. That's not another level. I'll indicate what that is. Actually, it is showing the credits. But by beating the game, you get this picture, which they normally look sad if you get a game over. This is the game over screen, the game over music. But if you beat the game, they look happy and you got everything set. There we go. So that is our nice picture for a beat. Not too much. It is shorter as far as the game. The Genesis version will be longer. Night of 100 Frights, I think, will be a little longer too, from what I'm gathering. There we go. So yeah, Mystery Inc. Solves 4 more mysteries, and there you go. Thank you so much, Dolly Finn, for sure, for joining on the show. We're not completely done, but we're almost done, as we run through the credits. And by the way, that password they gave, the SPNNR, that lets you see the credits. Here are the people who made the game, as it is, and they have little pictures, sort of them a little bit, as far as it just gives it a lot of nice characters, as far as like, hey, they definitely, I think, had some fun making this, as far as what it was. And also ideas of like looking, like, perspectives of like, hey, you know, doing Western stuff. Yeah, there is Nina Simone Drabwell, as far as how it is. In fact, there she is as far as like the Wild West case, as far as that specifically refined. He's looking like, I don't know, like an army soldier or something like that. Yeah, it's a fun game. Yeah, and that's the thing about, I'll go into final thoughts then on this game, as it is. This isn't a great game exactly, but it's one I do have some nostalgia with, mainly because I grew up with it. It was actually a gift for Christmas that year. That and the game based on Real Monsters for the Super Nintendo as well. But as far as capturing the feel of the show, it's pretty fun. It's got some weird design things. You do have to kind of look around and be very specific. Otherwise, you could miss stuff easily, and it could be a little bit of a wild goose chase. And it is feasibly the case that, fine, you are kind of doing the same thing, just going the whole way, left and right, over and over again. But it does have some thought to it. There is some interesting stuff going on with the design. It does capture the show well. It's not, I'll say this, it's not going to be the best game you're going to play on a license on this console. mean, it's not the stuff Capcom made like Goof Troop and the Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse that we played, or some other stuff, but as far as an early representation of Scooby-Doo in games, it's not a bad one, and fine, the other one on Genesis is different enough, we can justify that for a program, as far as what that is, but I gotta get a sense like, what the hell am I doing on that one, and getting a copy of it. But next time we come back to Scooby-Doo, it's going to be with the one that people tend to say is the best one, Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. We played on the PlayStation 2, because honestly, as far as differences of versions, are not too much. One thing I'm briefly going to show also is the passwords, because you get 2 passwords. I'm going to first show off the one that we're going to, not the one we're going to end on. But so if you type in ZDML, there are no vowels here, by the way. ZDMLWRJ. Hit B button to select characters, and then hit start button. If it's not a good password, you go back to the title screen, but if it is, you get the mini game. And fine, this one is for the wait, where is it? Oh, why is it not appearing? On my test play, I did this fine, and okay. Okay, fine, it's also feasibly a buggy game, I guess, because you're hearing the music going on and there's nothing here. Okay, fine, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. So, because I tested the password today, I guess after you beat the game, it just loads up to the music. It's supposed to show the Whack-A-Monster game. Okay, fine, drastic times call for drastic measures. I'm setting the console. Okay, so fine, that's not a good sign. All right, fine, so I guess there's a little bit of bugginess to this game that way. So, okay, that's weird. I never saw that. So if nothing else, is also going to be an indication of stuff I never saw, glitches I never saw out of this game. Fine. Edwack and Nikki, I think, said it best. They said specifically, why does this always happen with you? You attract the glitches. Like, I swear I don't plan this. It's like, say, even a game I've been playing for almost 30 years now, I'm like, wait, why am I, having a glitch case going on with that where I put that password in to go that way and there's nothing there? Fine, let's end the way I meant to end. Okay, here we go. Fine, okay, so we can do this again, although I do want to have... Fine, there we go. I'll have that on the pause screen there. There you go. And the only other password in this is CRDTS. You enter that, it just reboots the game again. I don't know what the point of that was. But yeah, I guess final thoughts on Scooby-Doo Mystery. It is an interesting representation of the show. Not a bad one. A short one. I mean, fine, going back into the days when this cost $50, question of, hey, is that enough game for your money? Well, fine. Back then, usually there was not a question to that. And fine, when I grew up, I didn't beat this game nearly as fast as I did tonight. Just because I've been playing this game for almost 30 years. And because I practiced a few weeks ago. That's the only aspect of why that happened. So, that's part of it, but fine. As a kid, the kid's like, hey, this is something for kids that way, so that, hey, you kind of get a sense like, hey, what are you going to do? Put the mystery together, find the pieces as far as what you need to do in order to get through. And then get a case where, you're able to go through. Enjoy the perspective, because this game does look really, really nice. It has good music, even though there's not a whole lot of tracks. It's well done, it has good style to itself. Nice effects as far as the Mode 7 stuff in the background with the hot dogs. Nice pictures as far as the chicken saying like, hey, everybody out there. And Scooby and Shaggy like, fine. Shaggy saying like, hey, here's my hand up. Like, hey, I'm here too. So yeah, you go. Good job to Shaggy and Scooby that way. Of course, our heroes for sure. That's the idea. Even though they're scared, they'll feasibly buck up enough to get through what they need to get through. And yeah, I mean, it is a short one, but the good news now is that, fine, this game cost $50 when it came out, like anything did. Maybe more, as far as how it is, maybe 60, 70, depending on where you went. But on Super Nintendo, this game is very cheap. I've seen this for like $7, $12, if that, on eBay. So if you want this game, they've easily made a lot of copies of it, or enough that it's not a costly game. So if you like Scooby-Doo, you want to drop like $10 on this thing, it'll definitely serve its purpose and give you a perspective and a good case of first look as far as Halloween for this year. So yeah, Halloween block is here. Yeah, I don't have a better name as far as the Halloween block. I just have to talk to Nikki again. She'll give me a good one. But either way, that is the case of it. That's our look as far as what that was. And our next celebration as far as Argonaut Software. So yeah, welcome back, friends. Can't wait to see you again. We'll get back to Croc probably in February as far as the looks going on schedule next. And also of Croc Legends of the Gobos remastered version. Who knows what they got with the return to gaming. Maybe they come back to Scooby-Doo. Who knows? Yeah, for the price, it's worth it. Yeah, definitely. I mean, for that price, if you like Scooby-Doo and you have a Super Nintendo, this is worth the money. I would definitely say it's definitely worth that. The Genesis version's a little bit more of a case of it because, as far as the question of if it's actually worth that, because it's $50. If you're going complete on that thing, it's $200. It costs a lot, and fine, because they're both late era on Super Nintendo, but this, or fine, Super Nintendo and Genesis, but this one costs more, or less, way less. The Genesis version costs more. Usually it's the other way around sometimes. But sometimes the question, like, even late era games, not everything that came out at the end of a console, or near the end of a console, sort of, costs tons. And question like what that was, I guess this sold better? I couldn't find sales data on this one, or the Genesis game. And go back to the 90s, it's always tough to find that. But even so, I guess it did get some attention, and also I remember, actually in my case, go back to Cartoon Network again, I'll say this before I go into schedule. They did have a little bit of a contest actually about this time back in 1995 where they said, hey, you know, we're showing 25 hours of Scooby-Doo. They used to do that as far as Cartoon Network. They showed like an entire day's worth of a cartoon, which is kind of a specific cartoon. It's like, yeah, even if you wake up like 4 in the morning, it's like, I want to watch some TV, oh, I can watch Scooby-Doo, or something like that, which is very interesting to kind of think about that. And find my experience with Cartoon Network that way. But yeah, they said like, hey, if you know why are we doing 25 hours, and you're one of the first 50 people to send us a postcard about that, you get a copy of either the Super Nintendo version of this or the Genesis version of this. I did try to enter it. I did not get the game that way because it was not one of the first 50 people to realize spring forward, fall back because of daylight savings time, unless you live in Indiana where it doesn't exist. But that being said, that was kind of what they had and went to the idea of this game. So that's the story there. And yeah, in case I eventually did play it and did enjoy it. I played the Genesis version too. I probably should just come back to that just for the purpose of it. But next time we come back to Scooby-Doo, as I mentioned, Dolly Finn will do the one you wanted to see. Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. I played it on the PlayStation 2. It's also an Xbox and GameCube. I picked PlayStation 2 because as far as version differences, there aren't really a whole lot. The Xbox version doesn't necessarily look or run or load better than it did on the PS2, which is shocking. I thought maybe it would look better, perhaps run on that system is a little more powerful. But no, and the GameCube version does have some scratchy stuff with the audio, which is kind of weird. So I said, and it's the most expensive one. Not that those cost a lot of money. They're not expensive either. Actually, Night of 100 Frights is only a tad more than this, like $20-something on PS2 and on Xbox. Because like 40, I think, on the GameCube, about 30, 40 on GameCube. It's like 20-something on Xbox and PS2. I think it's on the PC as well, and I think there's a Game Boy Advance version that's totally different. But yeah, next time we come back, we'll play Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights for PlayStation 2 from Heavy Iron Studios, which has full voice acting the whole way, as far as a lot of people know. Kasem or Don Messick, though. They're in this game in the Genesis version, so when we come to the Genesis version, we'll hear them again. And also the only games they've been in, as far as how it was. So there's that perspective. But that one's also going to be an interesting one because, yeah, it is showing the perspective of Scooby-Doo even more. And also Tim Curry's in it. We talked Tim Curry a couple years ago when we played Majora's Mask for the finale. He's in that game, so we're going to have him on the show. These must have an audience, though, I think, if people keep making them. Yeah, you're right. Because actually, there are tons of Scooby-Doo games. More than I think I knew. These are the only two I knew of at the time. But I know there were ones, I think the Atari ST had ones. I knew there was one where you need this weird accessory for one of them to play it. But then over the years, they had a lot on PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox. Tons in that era. There's a couple on the Wii. There are a lot on the portable systems. I think there's one... I think Way Forward made one of them, I think, on the 3DS. There have been tons of games based on this franchise, and it shows exactly what you said, Dolly Finn. You said Scooby-Doo is a franchise that has endured for about 60 years for a reason. They're probably nostalgia purchases, true, but then also the case that you have games that will kind of tap into that and also be a case that people really like that. You mentioned Night of 100 Frights. Night of 100 Frights is a case where that is pretty much the perfect representation of the Scooby-Doo enterprise in a video game in the sense that nothing necessarily against this game, of course this is 16-bit technology, but with the case of PlayStation 2 era of gaming, you had the case where you have full voice acting and everything. You have an orchestrated music by Tommy Tallarico, and for some of us who remember Scooby, that's going to be part of an appeal, yes, but it's also the case that when you get some of those really good ones, like Night of 100 Frights, it's something that we've talked about this a couple weeks ago, said, hey, you know, I love this franchise, how does it go to something like that? That one, you have full voice acting for it, you have the full orchestral score by Tommy Tallarico, that sounds like something from the TV show as far as it, they redo the opening of the show with the in-game engine, which is amazing as far as, and they have like the Scooby-Dooby-Doo, Where Are You song in there. So you didn't get in this game, though maybe they were going to have it in this, and they have it in the intro for the credits of this. But yeah, that one they have it, and they also have a laugh track on the soundtrack, so when the jokes come up, you have a studio audience laughing at it, which is amazing. Yes, exactly. So, and that's something we got to look forward to, and definitely we'll do that. Thank you for that suggestion, Dollyfin. Thank you for, I guess, accepting this quickly for Scooby-Doo, but still, interesting one. Love it. Okay, there you go. And I'm definitely going to love getting to Night of 100 Frights and everything else we got coming up for Super Bowl Game Saturday, and our first shot of our Halloween block. So thank you so much for watching the show, Dollyfin, and just watching everybody out there. So yeah, shorter show tonight. Definitely a good case of that, because next week we're going to have a bit of a longer case, so much so we're going early. So I'm going to talk schedule now. Next week's show is going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Crochet Nerd 64 is coming back for the first time in a year. He's been busy with stuff. Stuff with his own channel, stuff with things he's had going on. Final Fantasy XIV as a case, as he's mentioned. He'll go into that for sure, I think. And we couldn't do Shadow Hearts Covenant this year. We're working on that for sure. Do not worry, because it's him and Kasem 22 are going to be involved in that. And Kasem 22 himself is going to be involved in Suikoden, which we're going to play when that remake comes out, around, or a little after probably. We'll figure, because he knows it, he'll lead us. But for next week's show, the Crochet Nerd 64 is making his glorious comeback, because of course, if it is Halloween season, he wants to be here. It is his favorite holiday. I said, what do you want to play? He said, we're going to play Until Dawn. I have finally reached a decision on what version we're playing. Before I say, though, I will explain something briefly. Till Dawn is a survival horror game with a choice-based system, much like when we played The Man of Medan last year. It is by the same people who made The Man of Medan, that being Supermassive Games out of the UK, also of Argonaut. So fine, I guess, except for the two other games we have for Halloween block this year. The first two are from England, as far as like English horror case. Fine, English horror case via a classic cartoon with this game, and then English horror with Until Dawn. Yeah, that came out before any of the Dark Pictures anthology games, which The Man of Medan was the first one, and they announced the newest Directive 8020, I should say, that they've shown footage. That looks really scary, but yeah, he said, why don't we do Until Dawn, which is the first one, the one that kind of set in the stratosphere. And the question came down to what version, because it's on PlayStation 4, came out in 2015 there. And yesterday it came out on PlayStation 5 in a remake by Ballistic Moon, which is a company that is formed of ex-members of Supermassive Games. Well, some of them. There's a lot of actually who are laid off before this game came out, it must be said. Because times are tough in the industry when it comes to that. But it was a question of what version we're going to do. He said, I have it on PlayStation 4, we can back compat it to the PlayStation 5. And I said, well, maybe we could do maybe we could do the remake, but since I own the game already, I don't know if I want to spend $60 on this game. To which I said, I don't have this game, so I did buy the remake. I bought it yesterday, so I got it day one. And because the question was going to be a couple things. I said, which version we're going to do is depending on two things. For the remake, is it something where they did it right? And there's sort of a question if they did, because this game does have crash bugs, and I actually did experience one yesterday when we put this in. I went on the pause screen just to pause the game, and it just kind of crashed on me. I don't know why. People said they've been running into cases like that. And the other case was, Until Dawn on PlayStation 4 has licensed music in it. We usually have to, well, no, we always have to mute licensed music. Otherwise, the show will cease to exist. But he said, maybe this new version has a streaming mode where basically they'll mute licensed music, because The Quarry, which was also by Supermassive Games, did that. And other games I know, the Life is Strange games, the modern ones, do that as well. So I said, okay, let's figure it out. I'll see if they did this right, and we'll see if it's streaming mode. And nobody had the answer until the game came out yesterday. And I was texting him yesterday because I found out, yes, the game does have a streaming mode out on PS5. And it does have a case where it runs mostly well enough. And I'm gonna roll the dice on the case of it crashing. I only saw it once. I played a little bit as far as the intro. So yeah, we're gonna be playing Until Dawn, the remake, on the PlayStation 5. This is actually also gonna be the first time we're gonna be playing a game this close to its release. So yeah, 8 days after the game came out, we were playing it for the show. So yeah, Super Bowl Game Saturday. It's super recent game Saturday. It is next week, but it is a remake of a game from 9 years ago. And we're looking forward to doing this. It's one we're kind of going blind on. He hasn't played it himself on PS4 that much because he has his aspects of horror, wanted to be with somebody else. But I said, okay, well, we'll do it together, no problem. And I only played the first chapter, the prologue, I should say, just to get a sense of everything. Just make sure that, can we do this version? And the answer is yes, we can. So we're going to be back next week at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a little earlier, For Until Dawn remake on PlayStation 5, we'll be live on camera, as is the case for that, just to let you know. As a future man in there, as far as Dolphin, thank you so much for that. That is our future show for next week. That's gonna be the scariest case to find. We had the most family-friendly case of Scooby-Doo, except when we talked Velma. Fine, I didn't go into the dark things Velma goes into. I said, hey, it went R-rated in ways that don't work. Not even in case like, hey, they shouldn't go that direction. I mentioned cases where they did fine with other things, but that one seemed like it was a bridge too far for people. Even fans of Scooby-Doo and fans of Mandy Kaling and stuff said, no, we're not having this. But fine, you want the M-rated version of the show, it's next week. This is absolutely the most M-rated thing we got this year. This is definitely a maturity game in terms of its violence. It's extremely violent. It is also very profane. It's also something we can show because there's also sexual stuff in this, but nothing is visible as far as nudity, so we don't have to worry about that. There is a book of the Kama Sutra specifically in it, I think, which is on PS4 as well. I don't think it shows anything. I had to look around saying, there's no nudity in this game, right? And the box doesn't have nudity, so that's the case. Fine, we can show all that other stuff, but nudity, they always say no, but we'll find. So, Till Dawn remake for PlayStation 5, 8 days after the release of the game. It is next week at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Week after that, we're back to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Electverse wanted to see Twisted Metal for the PlayStation a long time ago. I've been meaning to get to this one. I made him wait too long. It's been 3 years since he made the request. That was this weekend 3 years ago. We played Kirby Crystal Shards. He asked for that. And I said, yeah, I gotta do this. We're gonna play it through the PlayStation 3 because I have it downloaded there. It also is playable on PS4 and 5. You have it. But I'm doing it on PS3 so you can show the digital manual. And also so we can go into adventures with the car combat game of Sony's and Single Track, as they were known, which was made up of David Jaffe, worked at Sony ImageSoft, and then we go on their own stuff with Incog Entertainment, we made later Twisted Metal games, and also, David Jaffe himself will go on to God of War from there. Yeah, we have that game going. The way I'm going to handle that, just to give you an idea, I still have more practice to do, and honestly, I'm going to tell you, right now, I don't feel like I'm ready, but I'm going to practice this, and thankfully, because this game was short, I can make that work, so the rest of the night is going to be practicing that. I'm going to go through the game with one character to complete it. It is not easy, so I need all the help I can get to start. And if I have to use passwords for the purpose of this to continue on, I will keep doing that. But what I will then do is I will then put in the passwords so the characters show off. These are the other endings, which they're not cinematics, from what I understand, because I think it might have been a memory thing, but also people's like, hey, you know, I don't know if it's going to be too much in terms of its content when it first came out. But when we get to Twisted Metal Head on the PS2 at some date, they do have the videos of what they were planning as far as an extra there. But for the purposes, we'll play Twisted Metal, the first one for the PlayStation. It came out in 1995, so yeah, we're going to be in 1995 actually for 2 of the Halloween block shows this year. Yeah, right when Scooby-Doo Mystery came out, Twisted Metal came out on the PlayStation, and we're going to be playing that. It's not exactly a horror game, but because of the look of it, as far as it, and definitely stuff with clowns, like with Sweet Tooth, it is kind of a horror game in its way. It's a car combat game. It's a really interesting one. And we started a dynasty of Sony's that's continuing today with a TV show, but not a new game. There hasn't been a new game since the one on the PlayStation 3 back in 2012. Like, yeah, maybe it's time to bring that back. Maybe they can do like with F-Zero. F-Zero seems like it's raining and pouring now with that, with F-Zero 99, and then the re-releases of GP Legend and Climax in the US for the first time, hooray, next week. But either way, that's what we got for October 19th, Twisted Metal for PlayStation, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and for October 26th. That is Electverse's birthday, so happy early birthday, my friend. But I'm not putting out his birthday. I'm saying you got stuff as far as life and you want to spend it with friends and family. I'm not taking it away. We'll do it the week before, but on his birthday, on the 26th, we're going to be playing Splatterhouse from Namco. It is a horror beat-em-up game. We're playing as Rick, who has the mask attached to his head. He has to go into the evil house and save Jennifer, his girlfriend, and beat up a lot of weird, grotesque creatures. It's an arcade game from Namco, but we're playing this is with the TurboGrafx 16 version that is on the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. We've not shown this console off yet. I've been wanting to show this off for a while. I said, what's the game I'm going to be able to show this off with? It's that one, specifically, and it fits to it. It's another one like Scooby-Doo Mystery where it's not long, but that one we're going to have extra stuff because I'm going to play Splatterhouse to start on TurboGrafx 16 through that unit because it's on there. Then afterwards, we're going to have a bit of a showcase of the TurboGrafx 16 mini device. We will be showing off or discussing everything that's on it, about 50-so games. And I will take chat requests. Anything you want to see is a little bit of a demonstration. Even the one game we've played before, that being Castlevania Rondo of Blood, perfect for Halloween that way too, we can show them again. There's some weird, interesting stuff on that, but also some pretty good stuff. Mentioned Ronald Blood, that's a good one. The Bonk games are on there, a couple of the Bonk games are on that. It's where they split them around. Also, weird stuff like JJ and Jeff, like, yeah, that's a weird one you feasibly wouldn't want to miss. It's like a Super Mario Brothers like platformer with these very weird characters. There is also a couple games by Working Designs. Kadash and Parasol Stars are on there. We've talked about them a few times as far as those two games from Working Designs, and a lot of other things as well, and some weird stuff, and some Bomberman as well. So yeah, and even some Sega ports. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. We'll talk about all that, talk about memories of those games, talk about maybe other stuff you want to see. We'll get demonstration, anything you want. But Splatterhouse is going to be the case. That's going to be closing Halloween block for 2024. I cannot wait to get this started, especially on the back of Scooby-Doo Mystery tonight. Then we get to November, when November 2nd, Nocturne's coming back. I don't think we do part 6 or the finale of Croc, but we'll have to see, because fine, that's going to depend on a couple things. Depend on, can she get through the stuff with the mini games? Because like it's hard. I played it myself as far as on PlayStation. It's not easy. She's not bullshitting when she's saying, hey, this is so hard. She didn't even show us that last week, so I understand it completely. She's going to do streaming over on her Twitch site. I'll have a link down below of that site for sure. And at the Crochet Nerd 64s, because he does streaming as well. He'll be back to it at some point as well. And also I'll have that on next week's show for that. But yeah, she might be back to that. I don't know. We'll see as far as when her streams are going that way. If you want to follow her on Twitch, I'll have the link there to in the area, or more accurately, maybe I can just do this now too. Since we are at the end of the show, I don't have to, I'll have it in the link list as it is when I do it. But for now, if you want to get a notification anytime Nocturne goes live, you can go here. So yeah, because you will be streaming that content as far as the rest of the Gobbo collections for Croc on Sega Saturn. If she's able to do it by November 2nd, we will play that, and it'll be the finale of the game. If not, we'll come back to it on February, late February. I have a date. I basically said I'm putting you at the end of the month for that one, just for the purpose of it, so you have maximized time. That'll be February 22nd of 2025. We'll come back to that, in which case then she'll have a surprise set for us. We'll know what the game she's going to be playing is on the show when we do Twisted Metal, I think, or when we do Splatterhouse. One of the two. So the 19th to 26th, come back, we'll tell you what we're playing on the 2nd. I'll confirm what that is. Week after that, we're playing Tomba for the PlayStation. Once we all wanted to see this, we're starting this platforming game from ex-Capcom developers, the former Whoopee Camp, playing the PlayStation 3 download version of the game. That is the one that is the most stable at this date because of the Tomba Special Edition being weird with the crashing. In some cases, but not in others. But fine, I bought it on PlayStation 3 way before. We'll have the digital manual look. It'll be the original way. But this 2.5D platformer with RPG elements that's very interesting. And we're going to start our experience with Tomba, the pink-haired caveman who's saving his land and his grandfather's bracelet from the evil pigs that come around. It's strange, but it is very fun and has a lot of depth, and a game that as I've been practicing it, I'm liking it more and more as I've been going on, and it is a really good one. I'm glad 112 made this request, and I said, I always say, we take the viewer requests very seriously. We'll get to the games you want, I promise. As soon as I scope them and be able to find a slot, we'll do it, and we're going to be doing that for a couple of months because we're going to go through all of the quests. You get quests going along, and they will add to your log. We're going to do every one of them. We start that on November 9th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll also be, as far as the November 2nd show, that's going to vary on when we start it based on what's going to go on with Nocturne. We'll find out in a few weeks. Week after that is going to be November 16th. That's going to be Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The memories of 1995 are continuing because we are coming back to the Donkey Kong Country franchise, which is celebrating 30 years this year with a game from 1995 of Donkey Kong Country 2 from the Game Boy Advance, along with Donkey Kong Countries 1 and 3 from Game Boy Advance, and one from Game Boy Color. It's going to be our Donkey Kong Country 30th Anniversary Celebration Showcase. Looking at the portable editions. These are very interesting versions. They have some unique things that were not in the Super Nintendo games we already played, and feasibly cases we could justify playing those games for full shows too. We'll have our perspective of that one coming up as far as that. We got this November 23rd. We're going to be playing the Disney game, the pre-Thanksgiving Disney game. We do that every year. It's going to be The Lion King using the Disney Classic Games Collection for the Switch. It's got the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, and Game Boy versions. We will beat at least one of them, maybe all of them. They're not long, like this game. And they also are really hard with certain things. The slide we saw tonight with the arrows jumping and the question marks. Yeah, get ready for that when we play that game, no question. Anybody's played that game is probably shuddering thinking about that, but we got it. We'll take care of it. We will go through it. We'll celebrate 30 years of that great Disney movie. Can't believe it's been 30 years for that one as well. And at the end of the month, we have our listed Xbox Live Showcase. Waiting to do this. I love the showcase shows we do every year. This is the first time we were doing it not just on a genre. So that means games from Xbox 360 on the Xbox Live Arcade, they've been delisted. We have our first round of these games. We'll come back to another set of them at another time. But the first 35 we got some big hitters in here. We got Poker Smash. We have Poker Night 2. We have Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. We have Marvel Blast Ultra. And we have a couple other ones as well. And we have The Wolf Among Us. We're going to be able to show that. The only way we can show it live on the show, because I cannot stream that game fully because it's nudity, but I've got that to show as far as some really interesting stuff. A lot of great variety. We're going to start that one earlier. I got to figure out time. I'm thinking either 4 or 5 p.m. I'll figure that closer to the time and I'll let you know. But yeah, it's November 30th after Thanksgiving, our big Thanksgiving feast of gaming. Love to do it, and we're going to have a great time with it. And then December, we have the next part of Tom, but that's going to be the first weekend. Second weekend is going to be Turn Super Mario Sunshine for showing off. Actually, it's not going to be a gameplay show, really. It's basically going to be me live on camera showing off the deaths I had when I did the practice before we did the show of that game, because I already beat it. But still, we got that coming up, and I'm also going to show off the game being played with very weird accessories. It's going to be sort of a gameplay show, but not much. So, like, how can you play Super Mario Sunshine with the DK Bongos from GameCube or the Tiger Drum from the Switch or any other controller I got my hands on that can connect to the Switch? You'll see them all live on screen on December 14th. And then we get to our last 2 shows of the year. Dolly Finn in chat's going to be on both of those. Those are going to be for Tetris and Dr. Mario for the Super Nintendo. Actually got texted from her earlier today saying she's getting ready for that show. She's getting her scores ready so she can dominate me and anybody else feasibly who might be on that show with us, if that ends up being the case. For the purpose of that play and our show off of Tetris and Dr. Mario, which I know she's wanted to be in on, she wanted to see it. I first wanted to see it. We're doing it. We're going to play it through the Super Nintendo, and it's going to be a great time of that. Our first full look at Dr. Mario for show, our first full look at Tetris of Nintendo's from the show, but they're both put together for even more fun. And end of the year, we're starting Shenmue. That's going to be on December 28th. Dolly Finn's going to be involved on that. Woohoo! Yeah, it's Dolly Finn saying that for sure. Like, yeah, I know you wanted to see that. We're making that happen. And also for Shenmue, I've already started my practice on that, basically making sure that I can show off everything I can out of that game. All the events I can show, all the things are interesting, including stuff I never knew the game had. And people didn't find out for multiple years, like decades, even on that one. We're going to start our perspective of finding, joining Ryo Hazuki at the Hazuki Dojo in Yamanose in 1986 to find Landy, the man who comes by and murders his father, and the idea, like, what is that looking like? A revenge tale that is a lot deeper and more thought-provoking than maybe you think, and a little bit of a precursor to the Yakuza franchise that I clearly took off a bit later. And then we'll get to January of next year, so next year's shows, just to show what I got, we'll have continuation of Tom, but I think we'll be done in January. I'm going to try and be done with that in January if I can. Not rushing the game. It's not very long. I think we can do it in 3 parts. I think. If I run more time for one of the parts or 2 of the parts, I will do that to make sure we can do it. But we'll have that. We'll have the next part of Shenmue on the first weekend of December. That's going to be on January, I should say. January 4th. That is going to be our look at the Nintendo GameCube preview disc. It's also going to be our first entry, sort of, kind of Super Bowl Game Saturday Second Chance. Games we played on the show before where we're coming back to them either by popular demand or because of a tech reason or for something else feasibly if it comes to other things. So we're going to show that GameCube preview disc off because it has a demo of Sonic Adventure 2 DX, or Sonic Adventure 1, I should say. Sonic Adventure DX. Sonic Adventure 2 is on GameCube, but it's not on that collection of demos. We played that game before, so we'll show off the demo that's on GameCube, as well as demos of other stuff like Splinter Cell and Beautiful Joe and Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg and many others, along with some videos, and I'm going to have some outside assistance for showing off aspects from Game Boy Advance with things you can download from it, so I'm going to be live on camera for that show. And at the end of the month, I talked to EdWack for this one. Tentatively speaking, it's going to be in January at this point. For the viewer request for that month, the game he wanted to get to, Smart Ball for Super Nintendo. He'll be playing that for us. Nikki will also be available. That will be a Friday show. We'll figure what the times of the guy are going to be and also the dates of when they're going to be. So that'll be a little up in the air. That being said, we'll have that, and then feasibly we'll come back to Croc in February. And we'll have Shenmue going on still at that point, and I'll figure other stuff going. All right, with that, I think that's going to be the end of Super Bowl Game Saturday for tonight. This shorter but sweet program. for our start of Halloween Fest. Thank you so much for watching the show. Thank you, Dolly Finn, for joining us for sure tonight. Thank you to everybody out there in chat and YouTube land as it gets over there in a pretty short case. This is not going to take me long to edit, I will say that for sure. That being said, thank you so much for watching the show. Have a great rest of your night. Sure, in this case, I can actually say it's a great rest of this night as far as Saturday, because it still is Saturday for once. Good night and thank you for Scooby. No problem, and I am definitely going to get you Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. I think it might be even better than this. That's saying something. But thank you so much, Dolly Finn, for everything you do for the show, joining us tonight. Have a great rest of your night to everybody, I should say. Yeah, great rest of your night, great rest of your weekend, and a great week coming forward as we get the Cool for Cats, even though we got the dog here. So there you go. I was like, yeah, feasibly I would have gotten away with ending the show, or not ending the show, if it wasn't for meddling kids and your dog. But fine. Scooby does sometimes chase the cats. That happens in the movie, so there is that as well. And other cases of like cat stuff with that, with Josie and the Pussycats. That's the, so you got cats and dogs there. You go, cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. But not in this not on this program, it's not. But either way, thank you so much for watching the program, everybody. I will see you next Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Crocheter 64 live on camera for the Until Dawn remake for PlayStation 5. Till then, keep being awesome. Have a wonderful night. Take care, everybody, and Scooby-Dooby-Doo!